Thank you very much, Chris. Well, it's been a very good place to be for the Syracuse Orange at home in the Dome, where they are 4-0 on the season, as we welcome you to ESPN College Football Primetime, presented by Outback Steakhouse. However, NC State's in town tonight, and the Wolfpack are a perfect 5-0 on the road here in the Cuse, as both sides look to get bowl eligible tonight in Syracuse. The Orange coming off a big double overtime win against North Carolina, while for NC State, unbeaten going into that Clemson game a week ago, and definitely not the outcome they were looking for as they try and rebound on the road tonight. And we welcome you inside the Carrier Dome. Beth Mowens along with Anthony Beck, Rocky Boyman also with us tonight here in Syracuse. And we got a couple of teams coming at this from a little different directions based on what they did last week, but both looking for bowl eligibility with a win tonight.
It's as poor as I've seen a North Carolina State team play against in the big lights versus Clemson and Syracuse. Starting great this year, but the last two seasons had a big dip midway through the season. Can they get over the hump today in this ACC matchup?
Looking to show that they can finish out the season. They lost 5 in a row to end the year last year, and they missed out on a bowl opportunity. For this NC State team, they've got one of the best quarterbacks in the country. A lot of folks think he's going to be in the NFL next year, Ryan Finley.
A 3-year starter. He's been the catalyst of the success for North Carolina State over that time. And there's a lot to like about him. NFL scouts raving because of the fact that he's accurate down the field. Every ball he throws is a catchable ball. His calmness, being smooth in the pocket, and still keeping his eyes down the field to make a completion. And this is probably my favorite, Beth. He's very smart. He can read it left to right, get the ball to the open receiver. He's as good as it comes at the quarterback position.
They are getting ready for the Orange as they look for their 5th home win for the first time in 15 years. Is this the turnaround season in year 3 under Dino Babers after back-to-back 4-win campaigns? They are looking for more, and the expectation is for more as they close out the second half of the year. That's just the fog machine. That is not actual snow in the dome, folks, although in these parts, it's coming soon. The Orange are building the drama. They're making us wait. They are making us wait. And here we go, the Orange. And the Wolfpack. So we know who the State quarterback's going to be tonight. Rocky, the big story in Central New York, who's going to be QB1 for the Cuse?
Well, Beth, I caught up with Dino Babers literally minutes ago. I said, Coach, if I promise not to tell anybody, can you tell me who's going to take the first snap? He said, I think you know who it is. I said, I think I know who it is, but can you tell me? He said, I think you know who it is. I said, last-ditch effort. I said, is he have a single-digit number? He said, yes. So that will lead us to believe it will be Eric Dungy who'll take the first snap.
Dungy, the veteran, and the big-armed freshman Tommy DeVito, both may be in the mix. The Halloween mystery will be answered when we come back. You're watching the ACC on ESPN. Wolfpack 2-1 in the league. The Orange 2-2. Of course, everybody looking up at the Clemson Tigers. They had a huge road win earlier today against Florida State. NC State will receive after Syracuse won the toss and they deferred, so it will be Ryan Finley with the first turn for the Wolfpack. Todd McShay really likes Justin Herbert right now at Oregon as probably the first quarterback picked in next year's draft, but Finley is right there behind him on Todd's list.
And we know Finley's coming out because this is his last season, so NFL teams really, again, like we said, rave about his skill set, and I think he's got a chance to be even a better pro at the next level.
Of course, Herbert still has the opportunity to return to school. Maurice Trowell is the deep man. The punter, Sterling Hoffrichter, will handle the kickoff duties here. Syracuse in the all-blue, State in the all-white, underway in the Dome. And out to the 25 for NC State. And so it will be Ryan Finley, the grad student out of Phoenix, the 6'4", 212-pounder. He's 23 years of age in his 6th season. His 3rd year as the starter.
Accuracy is huge. He's definitely going to give you a catchable ball. He does have the answers at the line of scrimmage. That's what makes him so good. And the poise. Watch him in the pocket. He is one of the smoothest operators in college football.
Making his 33rd start here tonight. And you talk about accuracy, Anthony. How about to the tune of 68%, his completion rate this year. Reggie Gillespie is the deep back, and he'll get the carry here on 1st down and rumbles out across the 30 and runs over Christopher Frederick. Some starters out of the lineup and a couple of key backups, including Ricky Person, the running back, Stephen Lewis on the outside, and Justin Witt, their starting right tackle. Good penetration into the backfield for the Orange. Ryan Guthrie, their middle linebacker, and it's going to be 3rd down as you see Tyrone Riley, the new starter, on the right side.
And it's all about penetration, Beth. If you want to stop the zone run game, you got to hit the gaps. Guthrie doing a nice job there. Now 3rd and 5. This is where NC State, one of the tops in the country, did not have success last week against Clemson.
Finley out of the gun, pressure coming, passes away, and it's broken up. 4th down, that was Andre Cisco, the true freshman safety, making the play.
He's been one of the more impressive freshmen for this football team, and they love his size. He's a ball hawk, tight coverage, tight quarters. He's one of the best on the team, and they're excited about this young man.
Guys, a rare 3-down lineman look from Syracuse, something we've not really seen much this year. They want to really ramp up that pressure package.
A.J. Cole on a punt. Sean Riley does have a punt return touchdown this season, but he'll fair catch it here. And Syracuse will have it at the 33-yard line after the 37-yard punt, and it does indeed appear it is the single-digited Eric Dungy, the veteran, the senior from Lake Oswego, Oregon, who is also their leading rusher, but his numbers have dropped in the passing department the last couple of games.
Yeah, he's really dangerous, Beth, when he gets outside the pocket. He's got a quick clock. If it's not there early, he will take off. Accuracy issues. Reason why DeVito, the younger quarterback, has gotten in the game is because of the fact that the completion percentage is low.
Taking the high snap and the handoff and a run out to the 40 for Dante Strickland. Of course, the backstory is Dungy, the longtime starter here at Syracuse, but he was lifted in the 4th quarter last week. Tommy DeVito rallied the Cuse in double overtime for the win. And it's been a mystery all week as to who would get the start tonight. And Dungy, his first throw into NC State territory to Taj Harris down inside the 35, and a hook up at 25 yards.
Well, another true freshman stepping up. They really like Harris. He's done a nice job last week, his biggest game of the season. Now he's over the middle. Nice connection by Dungy.
Quick tempo for the Orange. They tried the shovel pass into heavy traffic. Dante Strickland, and he lost 3.
Now think about this for Dungy, Beth. He's been the starter here for a couple of years. And think about the pressure that he's had every single time coming out in this game, having to come out and prove himself. It's a nice start by him.
Here inside the Carrier Dome, first possession for Syracuse, and it's Sean Riley tripped up. 1st down, Orange. Eric Dungy, the starting quarterback. As we're getting a look at that tempo, they call it Orange is the new fast. And they run about 80 plays per game. And we'd like to welcome those of you that were watching Houston just knock USF from the unbeaten ranks. So we are now down to 4 remaining: Alabama, Clemson, Notre Dame, and UCF.
Hey, Houston's really coming on strong, Beth. offense has been explosive, even though Ed Oliver, their star at the defensive tackle, has been a big key.
Dungy keeps down to the 11-yard line, and another first down and a gain of 9.
This is the difference in quarterback skills right here. Dungy pulling this out. He's got tremendous speed, and at 230 pounds, he's looking for somebody to knock over, able to get those big yards with his legs.
They'll go with a 2 tight end look here on 1st and 10. They can still get the first down around the 1-yard line. After they stopped NC State 3 and out, the Orange on the move. Strickland powering his way down to the 6.
Strickland at the running back position understands the offense the best. He's probably the veteran out of the crew that you can count on. They'll use 3 backs today, Beth, in this game.
Senior out of Dayton, New Jersey. And now Dungy will work out of the gun. As the time, incomplete. Good pass breakup right on the goal line by Chris Ingram.
Yeah, Custis, number 17, is the red zone target. Tight coverage. That's a great jam on the inside. Custis, a bigger receiver, has to be ready for that. Ingram doing a nice job getting him off his route.
3rd and 5. Dungy will check to the sideline. Of course, Dino Babers, an offensive guru, and Mike Lynch, their offensive coordinator. They've struggled on 3rd downs this year. Dungy running into a couple of defenders back outside the 10-yard line. Jermaine Pratt and Dexter Wright got him, and it's 4th down.
It's a great job. Backside, staying home. Watch these defenders understand reading the scouting report. This is a move Dungy does a lot. If it's not there, he'll roll back. They got 3 defenders there able to be in the spot to make the play. Jermaine Pratt, their best linebacker, on the spot.
So a field goal attempt from 29 yards out for Andre Schmidt, the freshman from Illinois. Now 19 of 21 on the season. 3-0 Syracuse, grabbing the early lead. Head coach and starting quarterback talking about that last drive. They got down into the red zone and then had to settle for the 3 and the early lead for the Orange over NC State.
And a lot of communication with the offense, especially Dungy. It's a great drive, Beth, for him. 4 of 5, 40 yards on that drive, 4 different receivers. Again, this is what Dino Babers wants to see out of the quarterback position, period. Yep. Regardless who plays it, he wants to see efficiency, get the ball out of your hands, and make plays.
Crowell is back deep again on his own goal line, and that one will go over his head and through the back of the end zone. Let's get to know Ryan Finley. He's a multifaceted athlete. He was a tremendous roller hockey player growing up in Arizona in his younger days. Also a good hoopster. Won a state basketball championship at Paradise Valley. But of course, football was his future. He started out 3 years at Boise State and then followed Eli Drinkwitz, the OC, to NC State. And now in his 6th year in college, he's 23 years of age, almost 24. And he's older than 4 current starting quarterbacks that all were drafted in the 1st round a year ago.
And that bodes well for him, Beth, at the next level. NFL teams will really like that about him. You see that that captain. He just got the ball off to his biggest, best target, number 3, Kelvin Harmon. This kid is a 6'3" superstar on the outside, lined up at the bottom of your screen.
He leads the ACC, nearly 91 receiving yards per game. And the top target, little play action, good pass protection, and the deep ball for 6. Amezi, touchdown NC State as they get over the top of the Orange secondary. 67 yards on the score for Emeka.
Well, that's the way you come back, Beth. I think after the first series, you're thinking the momentum was shifted towards Cuse, and all of a sudden, the veteran leader of this football team is able to strike quickly and get a touchdown.
Guys, it looks like we might get a lot of points tonight. What do you think?
Finley showing off his arm. And NC State takes the lead. Well, they wanted to challenge that orange secondary. They thought they might have some mismatches, and they found one right there.
Finley is the calmest, coolest guy in the pocket when he throws the football. Nothing phases him, and he drops a dime to one of his favorite receivers for the touchdown.
ESPN College Football is presented by Outback Steakhouse, where you can go big and go home with delivery and takeout. And in part by Audi.
As a Central New York native, I can tell you it's a beautiful day for football in Syracuse. That's how Central New Yorkers roll right there. Get the fire pit out and then get inside for a dome foam and a dome dog, and you're on your way. Unfortunately for those fans, it's been few and far between the wins. In fact, just one of them in this series against NC State. They have never seen the Cuse beat NC State here at home. And after the Ryan Finley 67-yard touchdown pass, the Wolfpack have the early lead 7-3. 39 degrees outside, but gorgeous inside under the roof. The only domed stadium in the Power 5 conferences. And a chance here for the Orange to get a return. Riley taken down at the 11-yard line. Terrific punt coverage. Time now for Beck's breakdown, Anthony.
Well, you know, look at a couple things here, Beth. Watch the running back, Gillespie, right here, step up and make a nice block. And then the safety on the play action bites just a bit down. And they did not respect the speed at the post route for Emezi. And he blows right back by the corner, and there's nobody home. Really an easy pitch and catch for Ryan Finley.
67 yards on the strike for Emezi, who gets the start today due to the injury to Stephon Lewis. So a big moment for him. And now Dungy back in there at quarterback. And he is run out of bounds. Jermaine Pratt is a guy that is all over the place defensively, the leading tackler for this NC State defense.
And again, they had a little bit of a four-step post route on the outside, and Dungy didn't want to wait for it. Ends up running to the outside, Beth. So again, his quick timing routes really wants to pull it down and run the ball.
Dungy looking for the deep ball. Got him in stride. Johnson. Touchdown, Orange.
You want to talk about some speed. That's how you beat a corner, one-on-one on the outside. Engel, their nickel cornerback, just could not stay up with the sophomore Johnson.
PAT for the three-point lead, Andre Schmidt. I see your 67 yards, and I'll raise you 82, Anthony.
I'll tell you now, Dungy feeling another quarterback down his back. What's he do? He responds. Accuracy on the deep ball, the speed down the sidelines. Nobody's catching Johnson. Everybody's happy. Touchdown, Cuse.
We welcome you back inside the Carrier Dome. How about this shootout right now? Big plays. We got a basketball game breaking out inside the Carrier Dome. A little football. Jim and Julie Boeheim with us.
Guy's a legend, Beth. I don't know what else to say.
They had their first exhibition game of the season, and Jim now coaching his son, Buddy. He'll play against another one of his sons. Jimmy is at Cornell. And look at, there's a little moment between the two quarterbacks. Dungy, the veteran, DeVito, the freshman, after the 82-yard touchdown pass.
That's good stuff right there. It's good to see the camaraderie between two players. You know, listen, DeVito's he's very young. He's got his chances. They will come. He was prepared last week, Beth, and you never know how this game will pan out. But right now, Dungy is getting the job done.
Both these defenses may want to try a little 2-3 zone, Anthony. A little Boeheim 2-3 zone. They've been burned, and there's a drop ball back inside the 10-yard line. C.J. Riley in trouble. C.J. Riley taken down for the big loss. And he may be hurt on the play.
Yeah, that's a good job. Coleman just chasing this down. And again, as a heads-up reverse guy, if you just threw that out of bounds, Beth, outside the box, and there's a receiver there, that'd be a good heads-up. But that's -11 on the trick play. I'm not quite sure they need trick plays, Beth. Both of these offenses going pretty well with the quarterbacks throwing the football.
2nd and 21.
That was a great job right there of Coleman of opening up his vision. He saw that other reverse guy coming back around, reversed his course, and was there for the play.
Finley to Jacoby Myers. They'll get some of it back out to the 20. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down and long. Kylan Whitner with the tackle.
3rd and long, Beth. Let's see how Cuse decides to play this. Do they want to drop 8, potentially 7 in coverage? Do they bring pressure against Finley in this long distance situation?
This is good on good right here. The offense and the defense. Some of the best 3rd downs in the country. Pressure coming. Finley with time. Incomplete. And it's 4th down, intended for Imezi. And we got a flag down.
Number 66. Penalties decline. 4th down.
That was against offensive lineman Josh Fed Jackson of NC State for holding.
And Beth, he had no other choice because one of Syracuse's best blitzing linebackers, Guthrie, was right there coming up there right up the middle, and he was forced to hold him.
Syracuse has shown a tendency. They talked to us yesterday about how they love to blitz those backers right up the middle so that the quarterback has them right there in his vision.
Yeah, that's most of the pressure you're seeing these days, right in the quarterback's face, because the quarterback wants to get the ball out of his hands, so get that stuff right in his chops.
A.J. Cole punts it away, and another fair catch for the Orange at their own 40-yard line and a 40-yard punt. Well, Tuesday night's the big night. Here on ESPN, we'll have the exclusive reveal of the first college football playoff top 25 rankings of the season. It's all presented by Allstate, and we will find out who the top 4 will be in this first reveal. And this, according to ESPN, our stat guys, these are the teams that have the best chance, and really now the only chance to go undefeated, as USF lost earlier today. Clemson right now, the best chance to go unbeaten. Alabama on the bye this week. They've got that huge game down in Death Valley against LSU next week. Notre Dame in action tonight out in San Diego against Navy.
And I think we all feel good about probably who the top 4 is going to be. Early on, I'm always interested from 5 to 25 because that gives you a good base for teams that want to try to move up that ranking.
Dungy again over the top, and the deep ball complete down inside the 10 to the big fella, 6'5" Jamal Custis.
6'5", runs a 4.5, Beth, and if you don't get close to him, he will run right by you. Right now, a lot of problems with the DBs against the receivers for that big 45-yard gain.
Remember, this is a secondary that lit up for over 300 yards last week versus Clemson. We're seeing the same thing tonight.
1st and goal from the 9. Strickland, the offset back. Dungy keeps, diving down to about the 7. Jermaine Pratt there to wrap him up. Rocky?
You just mentioned Jermaine Pratt, Beth. That's a 2nd play in a row. I've seen Pratt play that spy roll on Dungy, kind of mirroring him and kind of closing that gap and anticipating him scrambling.
And he's a former secondary player, made the adjustment to linebacker, so he's got that speed to play that position. Free play here.
Flying, looking for Custis, incomplete, and another flag down on the coverage by Chris Ingram. Both would appear to be against the pack here.
Just got to stay true to your technique here if you're a defensive back. You don't need to grab and hold. You're in a tight quarter area. You're in the red zone.
There are multiple fouls during the play. Offside, defense number 92. That penalty's declined. Pass interference, defense number 15. A foul occurred in the end zone. Put the ball at the 2-yard line, first down.
You have that space, Beth. Just get close to him, turn your head, find the football, make a play right there. It's too easy for the official to make that play.
You're right, Anthony. This secondary just looks like it's panicking right now, and they need to settle down.
Orange are bringing some muscle out there.
Yeah.
Got an additional offensive lineman to the left. Power backfield. They're going to try and run with the rookie, Jeremy. Touchdown.
It's nice to have big body backs. Watch number 36 here, Beth. He's 6 foot, 285 pounds, and you know what? Don't meet him square in the hole because that's a problem. And if I'm a running back, I'm following him every single time through the hole.
4-year starter Eric Dungy. Hey, you got a rookie breathing down your neck. How do you show up as the starter? How about 6 for 7 for 167 yards, including 2 whoppers of pass plays, 1 for a score, 1 to set one up. And the Orange with the first quarter lead in the Dome. We'll find out Tuesday night who's in for week number 1, the top 4. The first reveal on Tuesday night, all leading up to Selection Sunday on December 2nd. A 10-point lead right here for Syracuse over NC State. We've already seen another undefeated team go down today, and the mayhem begins this Tuesday with the College Football Top 25 presented by Allstate. How about the picks for Anthony and Rocky? Anthony, who you got?
Well, you know, Clemson obviously has been pretty good the last 3 weeks, Beth. Some monster victories, but Georgia has the biggest win of the day, beating Florida. Back in the mix. All of a sudden, they're back in my top 6.
Rocky, you got Notre Dame ahead of Clemson right now on your list.
I like Notre Dame's secondary better than I do Clemson. That was my deciding factor.
You sure?
Take that for what it's worth.
Are you sure? No bye.
He says as he looks at that degree hanging on the wall. Irish, of course, with that matchup against Navy tonight. They will face Syracuse in Yankee Stadium later on this year.
And they have some interesting uniforms for that contest, Beth. I'll just leave it at that.
Oh, are there some pinstripes involved?
Yes.
Oh, boy.
Baseball pinstripes, yeah.
Breaking news.
Yes, home of the Pinstripe Bowl, as well as those pinstripe New York Yankees. Finley rifles it downfield, incomplete. How about a studio update from Chris Cotter?
Okay, time for your DirecTV, more for your college football thing. Kentucky at Mizzou. Final play, an untimed down after a pass interference in the end zone. Terry Wilson here connects with C.J. Conrad. Kentucky wins, setting up a showdown in Lexington against Georgia next week. Say hello to the Ninja, the Ginger Ninja for me, guys.
Wow, Kentucky with the big win. And we got a 3rd and 7 right here for NC State. Pressure again on Finley. Ball is batted into the air, and it falls incomplete. And it's 4th down.
Well, they're heating it up today, Beth. Bringing pressure by the linebackers. 2 guys. We got 25, and then off the edge, we have Armstrong, number 12. And listen, if you got one back, who are you going to pick? You got to take the inside guy, Beth. That backer's the most dangerous. Gillespie decides to go out, and that affected the throw of Finley.
That was Kylan Whitner that got a hand on him. 3rd 3 and out in the first 4 possessions here for NC State. 42 yards on that punt, and the Orange will have it right back under 3rd-year head coach Dino Babers. And what a route it's been for Dino to get here. Started out in Hawaii as a player, linebacker and safety, 28 years as an assistant coach before he finally got the head job at Eastern Illinois. Won there, moved on to Bowling Green, won there, and then became the head coach here for the Orange. Back-to-back 4-win seasons. Is this the year that things start to change? They're undefeated at home and a win today gets them back to a bowl for the first time in 5 years. That's the second longest bowl drought.
Start offense number 78. 5-yard penalty, first down.
In Power 5.
You got to respect him because of the route he took to get to be a head coach. Paid his dues along the way, understanding that the assistant coach route, learning the positions, receivers, defense, offense, and now having success at 3 spots as a head coach. Just a phenomenal road for Dino Babers.
Dungy out across the 40 to Sean Riley. Rocky?
Guys, you're talking about Dino Babers, one of my first years calling games. I go up to Eastern Illinois and meet this brash coach named Dino Babers, and then inside his office was one quarterback named Jimmy Garoppolo. That was for the ages there.
He's worked with some good ones. Incomplete on that throw, but he put it all behind Eric Dungy, and it wasn't an easy decision considering how well Tommy DeVito played at the end of the game last week, winning in overtime. They said, you know what? I'm still going to go with the guy I think gives us the best chance to win.
Yeah, and listen, he kept saying all week, I have 2 really good players, 2 good quarterbacks. It's a good problem to have. Regardless, it puts pressure on both guys to perform.
213 yards of total offense for the Cuse. They'll give some back there. Andreas Bryant and Isaiah Moore, number 41 in white. He's got a bright future for this Wolfpack defense.
And a little pressure there, a little pressure package on second down, trying to mix it up right now, trying to cause confusion. Strickland, pretty good back, picking up the pressure, misses it, and pushes back this Cuse offense.
They need to get out to the 42-yard line for the first down, across midfield for the first down. They're looking that way, and they'll get it. And then it's knocked loose as they came crashing to the turf. Jarius Moorhead with the breakup, and it's 4th down.
Good job by Moorhead. Listen, these DBs, you better be on call and get to the football. To me, that's a little late, Beth. Very fortunate there that he's able to swing through and knock that ball away.
Yeah, he was a little bit late, and they were really disguised and showed a cover 3 look, and then at the last second spun to a 2-deep look, and he was able to knock that ball away. The receiver thought he had a wide open seam route.
Dino Babers talked about shots. Well, they're taking their shots today. This is the offensive look that they're trying to get week in and week out.
Hofrichter with Thayer Thomas, the fair catch at his own 20-yard line. 4:02 to go here in the first. A 10-point Cuse lead.
It's been a deep ball barrage today for these quarterbacks, letting their receivers get down the field. North Carolina State strikes first, but Dungy has stayed on par, delivering a strike to Johnson down the middle, and then again on the outside to his big 6'5" receiver, Custis. This has been an offensive explosion early on, Beth. Expect a lot of points. 24 already to start this first quarter.
Something in the air tonight. The 2 sides have combined for 265 yards passing. This is already NC State's 5th possession, and we're only 11 minutes in. They're going to run it. Gillespie for a couple. What you got for us, Chris Cotter?
Got a quarterback that's kind of like Eric Dungy. His name is Nick Fitzgerald, playing for Mississippi State. Over on ESPN, he finds Stephen Guidry here, and the Bulldogs have opened up on top of A&M, 7-0, guys.
Well, Chris, back here inside the dome, that is starting tailback Reggie Gillespie. Hurt on the play, the senior out of High Point, North Carolina.
And that's a problem because Ricky Person, their other skill back, did not make the trip, so he's out of the game. That would leave just Trent Penix, their true freshman, number 26. And as we watch this, looks like his left ankle got rolled up on the tackle. This could be huge here if he's not able to return, Beth, for this running game that's been silent so far in this game.
Yeah, and I also see number 33, Bradley Bodine, out here, possibly going to take some reps at tailback as well.
He's got 16 carries on the season. Penix rarely used. They have 0 rush yards currently in the game tonight, and just 81 total, and it is Brady Bodine, the grad student from Camp Lejeune, North Carolina, who is coming on. They'll work out of the pistol here on 2nd and 7. Pressure coming up the middle. Again, hit as he threw it, Ryan Finley. So the challenge, one of them tonight, Anthony, for this defense was, can they get to Finley before he can even get that quick release out?
And the last couple weeks, Syracuse has mixed up pressure downs on first and second down. Again there on second down. They better start picking up protection or having a quick route, or Ryan Finley's going to have a long day on his back.
Guys, this is the most I've seen Ryan Finley hit all season. He looked a little gimpy getting up after that last play.
Showing pressure off the edge. They're coming after Finley again. He's flushed. Fires downfield. Incomplete. Had his intended receiver spinning around. Trill Williams was making things problematic for Ryan, and it's 4th down. And their 4th 3 and out of this quarter.
There's just a little confusion on who's got who in the pressure packages that Brian Ward, the defensive coordinator for Syracuse, is bringing right now, and it's causing problems. Remember, the right tackle for North Carolina State in his first start, Tyrone Riley, number 55, they're working that side.
High, booming punt, chasing Sean Riley back to his own 16. Riley tripped up and down he goes at the 32-yard line after the 55-yard punt. We'll send it back to the studio. Chris?
All right, Wazoo coming off a huge win last weekend at Stanford, and here on the farm, Cameron Scarlett takes it in from 2 yards out 14, all late in the first quarter. Coming up at 8:30 over on ABC, Sam Ellinger, he will get the start for Texas. Shane Buechele will be ready just in case. Texas and Oklahoma State coming up in about 22 minutes time.
Texas looking for a win that may put them in the top 6 for the first playoff reveal on Tuesday. Of course, Washington State, they rose 11 spots in the AP poll after their big win. The trick play for the Cuse. Sean Riley down to the 20 on the throw from Dante Strickland.
Caught him sleeping, Beth. Not aware. Watch Strickland just get the ball. The safety just comes chasing. Uh-oh. Turns around. Right by him, Sean Riley. He's one of the fastest players on the field, Beth. He's a problem.
Got behind Moorhead for the 48-yard connection. Incomplete on that throw.
Yeah, watch him just sell it. And 2 defenders just run up too far and get caught up inside. And right now, Syracuse's offense has this North Carolina State defense confused.
257 yards of offense in the first quarter. Dungy looking to add to it, to the end zone. Touchdown, Jamal Custis.
It's all about matchups, Beth. In the red zone, Custis is the featured player, but this time he's on the inside instead of the outside.
The Orange have scored on 4 of their 5 possessions to open the game. And it is 24-7 with 2:39 to go in the first.
Yeah, well, Beth, you got to know where everybody is. There's Custis, and he's going to run right up into the seam after this receiver runs a short route. So it's one-on-one, a 6'5" wide receiver going against Ingle, a true freshman who's 5'10". That's a problem for North Carolina State. And I'd be crying, too, if I was a mascot, Beth, on this start.
In trouble early here on the road for NC State. Rocky?
Yeah, Nancy, in a situation where your secondary is struggling, you'd like to see your defensive line get a little more pressure. The problem is, in this style of offense, the ball is just at the quarterback's hands so quick, the defensive linemen look frustrated because they can't even breathe on him.
And how about last year's defensive linemen, all 4 of them, Beth, all drafted in the NFL.
Yep.
Be nice to have kept one back from that bunch.
They are averaging over 12 yards, nearly 13 yards per play. 252 yards of passing offense in the first quarter. And the loud house is living it up. Another touchback out to the 25. Well, this season, Taco Bell is celebrating student sections and passionate fans just like these by awarding the best student section of the year. The Syracuse Orange student section is already on the national watch list. Go to ESPN.com/Taco Bell to see how your school can compete.
Dorn is not happy. He doesn't want to see what happened last week again happen on the road versus Clemson. This offense has to find ways to stay on the field, Beth, and create first downs.
Already for Syracuse, 5 plays of over 20 yards. And for NC State, the one big play, the 67-yard touchdown pass from Finley to Emezi, but they have not been able to get anything going to help out on the ground.
Yeah, balance is always key for any quarterback. And right now, it looks like Gillespie is back in the football game, which is good news, but they got to create some type of running lane for him to get some yards.
Again, coming off the disappointing performance, a 41-7 loss to Clemson, and now taking a big punch early on the road tonight. Flag is down, and a whistle before the start.
Offense, number 11, 5-yard penalty, second down.
And that's a false start on a receiver, Jacoby Myers. Dave Dorn, the first thing he said, keys to the game tonight, we can't let Clemson beat us twice. Yeah. We have to be focused and ready to execute.
Turn the page, right? That's the biggest thing. 18, 19-year-old kids trying to get them to dial in and focus in and believe in the process. Right now, not a great start for them.
After the 5-0 start, trying to avoid a second straight loss. Syracuse has been bringing heat all night. And the pass complete out across the 30-yard line to Kelvin Harmon.
And that's what you have to do. If those linebackers are going to be blitzing like that, the open area of the field is that middle of the field. That's where they've got to hit them.
3rd and 3.
This is a manageable position here for this offense. Cuse has heated it up here the last couple 3rd downs. Let's see if Ryan Finley has a plan.
Boys in blue are coming again. Finley's pass is away, and it's caught out to the 40 again. Harmon, and a first down, NC State. Picked up 9 yards.
Well, strong safety pressure. You got to get it to your best player. Look at the aggressiveness. Listen, they're playing tough man-to-man coverage on Harmon. If he's going to get the football, they're making him work for it. Nice job catching that.
Caught on the outside for a 6-yard gain. Emezi. Scoop Bradshaw was there defensively. See if they'll run another play before the end of the quarter. And Finley's going to go with the empty set here. And now Gillespie will motion into the backfield. They'll try the ground. Gillespie has the first down into Syracuse territory to end the quarter. Orange scoring on 4 of 5 possessions. And a 24-7 lead with 277 total yards in the first. And a matchup of a couple of teams looking for bowl eligibility. The Orange early. Now in his 3rd season, the 24 points in the first quarter, the second most for a Syracuse team under Dino. As we welcome you back to ESPN College Football Primetime, presented by Outback Steakhouse. An action-packed first quarter. Both teams with long bombs for touchdowns. And a couple of sides that are looking for a bowl-eligible win tonight. 24-7 Orange, but Ryan Finley has NC State on the move. Short gain for Gillespie. How about the pressure from Syracuse tonight?
It's been a barrage. Second down, third down, hits on the quarterback, safeties, linebackers, anything they can do to disrupt him and get his timing off. And right here, watch his eyes in his face. He's not really feeling it on that one.
And the pressure is kind of a new thing. You go back to last year, Brian Ward was kind of known as a Tampa 2 guy, didn't bring much pressure, but this year, especially the last 2-3 weeks, he's bringing it and it's working.
Finley down the seam, and it's caught for a first down to the 25. Thayer Thomas. And a gain of 22.
They're always the toughest balls to catch. Down the middle seam, the ball is high in the air. You just got to trust and pull that ball directly to your body to watch for that hit. It's a nice job by Thomas protecting his body, making that catch.
First catch of the night for Thayer. Ryan now a shade better than 50% throwing, 127 yards. Two tight end set here. Meziu has a touchdown catch already down to the bottom of your screen. They're going to run it the other way. Gillespie, the cutback, picks up a couple. Kendall Coleman with the tackle.
Anthony, how about my man, number 65, the center, Garrett Bradbury? He is so quick on that outside zone sort of action. He can get out there and reach even all the way out to a 2 technique. Very impressive.
You know why he's so fast, Rocky? Because 3 years ago, before he started, he was a former tight end.
Oh, here we go, Ben.
250 pounds. That's where the athleticism. Thank you for teaming me up on that one, by the way.
You're welcome.
He's on the Remington watch list. He's one of the best in the business right now, making his 33rd consecutive start tonight. On 2nd and 8, that'll set up a 3rd and short. It's Thomas once again. And a gain of 5, Rocky.
No, just to add one more thing on Bradbury. I talked to a couple NFL scouts here before the game, and they asked me who I liked, and I was telling some names, and they said, what about the center? What about Bradbury? They love this kid, love how he plays.
Along with Prescott and Tyler Jones, maybe the best left side in the ACC. Just 1 for 5 tonight on 3rd down. Gillespie right behind Bradbury. First down, NC State.
And they didn't bring pressure, Beth. Softened it up a little bit. And it was really an easy block. Look at this hole right here. Nobody's there. All the backers flowed to the opposite side. And that's about as easy of a first down North Carolina State may get today.
First down in the red zone, 11th play of this drive for NC State. More Gillespie to the 10. Ryan Guthrie wrapped him up.
And it's important to keep the run game a part of this. It's early in the game. They're down big, no question. But you got to stay within your offense. You got plenty of time. But if you're just going to let Syracuse's defense just keep coming at you with no run game, they're going to take advantage of it. So nice by Drinkwitz, the offensive coordinator, hanging on to it a bit more.
Gillespie goes out. It's now Trent Penix in the backfield. Remember, no Ricky Person in uniform tonight. And they will use Penix. The Orange able to stretch it out and run them out around the 7. Going to be 3rd down and a few.
Pretty good team speed there by Syracuse. Coming on outside, a lot of blue jerseys chasing that ball down. Again, 3rd and 5. We've seen pressure the majority of the time. Now tight in the red zone, going against one of the best offenses on 3rd down. Can they get a stop?
Ryan Finley hasn't missed on this drive. 5 for 5. And a timeout called by Syracuse. Their first of the half with NC State threatening. How do you keep those up-tempo offenses off the field? Well, you hang on to it yourself for a long time. Over 6 minutes for NC State with the 13th play of this drive, and Finley's been terrific.
They're 5 for 5, Beth. And they have to come away with either a first down or a touchdown here to stay in pace. But sometimes your best defense is having a good offense, and this has been a good example of it.
Just the four-man rush on third down to the end zone. Incomplete. Intended for Jacoby Myers, and it's fourth down. And they will send down the kicker.
And just watching Jacoby Myers' body language, I don't really think he ran this route thinking he was going to be the primary receiver. And in these offenses, the spread offenses, you better be heads up no matter what. So, again, not a catchable pass. Not a big fan of the fade routes either, especially in the seam area.
Christopher Dunn, 8 for 11 on the season, on to attempt this 24-yarder. The long drive, and they get some points out of it. A 2 touchdown Syracuse lead here in the second quarter.
ESPN College Football, brought to you by Goodyear, hardworking tires that deliver blimp-worthy performance. And Chick-fil-A Nuggets. Tonight is Nugget Night.
16th ranked Syracuse, their exhibition win the other night. And there's one of the new freshmen, Buddy Boeheim, hitting 3 of his 19 points in that exhibition. Jim and Julie on hand, Buddy's folks. Of course, getting set for season number 43. And here inside the Carrier Dome, the home of the 2003 national champs, with GMAC and Mello. They are led this year. Got everybody back, including All-America candidates' highest battle. And the ACC Media Days were the other day, and Syracuse expected to finish 4th in the ACC this year. NC State is a middle-of-the-pack pick. They will both be a part of the ACC Big Ten Challenge that we will have coming up for you in about a month's time, end of November. And both those teams will be on the road. NC State at Wisconsin, November 27th. Syracuse at Ohio State, November 28th. Basketball season is upon us, and one of the jerseys hanging from the rafters here. This is, of course, the home of both the basketball and the football team. And the SU women also play in here. Quentin Hillsman's club expected to be very good and very competitive nationally this season. We are 20 minutes into this, and this is our first look now at Mo Neal in at tailback, and the pass incomplete. Dungy looking for Riley. Chris Ingram had the coverage.
Dungy's been on point, Beth. I love guys that respond to adversity. I don't know if you call it adversity, but there was some pressure at the quarterback position all week. Nobody was named the starter. He comes out and, again, leads his football team, and he stepped up and had a fantastic start to this game.
Already over 200 yards passing and 2 touchdowns as the redshirt freshman Tommy DeVito looks on. He came on in relief of Dungy last week. And Syracuse team, Dino Babers was telling us, was looking for some big plays. They've got a bunch of them already. And the 2 long touchdown passes. First and 10 here from their own 37. Quick hitter to the outside. And the catch is made by Taj Harris. It's going to bring up second down and long, Rocky.
So, Anth, do you think Dino kept the who's going to start a quarterback secret, maybe just to challenge Dungy a little bit, see how he'd respond?
Yeah, it could have been a motivating factor. It's a great point there. I mean, listen, you got your stud senior quarterback, a guy that's led this team the last couple years. Maybe he just put him on notice to say, listen, you know, we need to see better. You're our leader, but you got to come out and respond. And he's done it so far.
Dungy will tuck it and go with it, and it's going to be third down and about 4. Eric coming into the game tonight, 3rd all-time in touchdown passes, 4th all-time in Syracuse history in passing yards.
Well, NC State has to find a way, and if I'm NC State, I'm going to find a way to go in the number 10. Riley is a fast slot receiver. He's hard to really cover one-on-one. Look to him to be a potential option here.
Headed his way, and outstanding defense from Moorhead to bust it up, and it's 4th down.
It's a nice job by Moorhead. I'll tell you, Short receiver, a lot of quickness, short, quick twitch. This is not an ideal matchup, but he stays with him and knocks the football down. That's a nice job, and I think a defense needs to get off the field. NC State doing it right there.
Thomas will be back around his own 10-yard line here. The punt from Sterling Hoffrichter, the junior from Valrico, Florida. High kick and the fair catch at the 15. His own guy bumping into him, and it's scooped up and run back out to the 19-yard line by Brady Bodine.
It's a really nice job by Bodine here. Watch what he does. He runs back behind him, and he's Johnny on the spot. It's a good special teams play, being aware. North Carolina State very fortunate on that punt.
Now the ESPN app, now with ESPN Plus. Get more ESPN and download now. So NC State, actually they're going to spot this ball back at the 9-yard line because of the fair catch that was called. That's where Bodine scooped it up. 1st and 10 there for NC State. On the boot. And a big hit to knock the ball loose. Andre Cisco, the freshman out of Valley Stream, New York.
You really got to like this true freshman, and he does a perfect job of leading with his shoulder on the ball there, making a nice play. It's Mezzi, who, again, doesn't feel him coming, comes downfield like a heat-seeking missile and makes a big play.
2nd and 10.
Ruling on the field is under further review.
Are they looking at a potential targeting here?
That might be. We'll take one more look at it as we head to break.
Or is it a catch from that?
After they reviewed it, no targeting called, so it's 2nd down and 10. 5 DBs out there right now for the Orange defense. Finley out of the pistol. They'll run it with Gillespie, got a couple, ran into Whitner and Guthrie, and it's 3rd down.
Well, they had numbers in the box there, Beth, but nobody got to the second level to block the linebackers here. Good job by Syracuse being on the spot, making the tackle at the point.
Just 24 yards rushing for a top 10 rushing offense here in the first half.
Most reliable receiver, top of your screen, Kelvin Harmon, one of the best in the ACC.
Going to try and light him up again. Pressure coming. Finley busted up by Melifonwu. Intended for C.J. Riley, and it's 4th down. And a punt coming possibly out of their own end zone right here. And some frustration from Ryan Finley.
Kind of surprised he went to the short side of the field. He had Harmon one-on-one working against the DB, but decided to go away from him.
5th 3 and out of this first half for the NC State offense. And Syracuse looking for some good field position here. Nykeem Johnson is around midfield as Cole will punt out of the end zone. And Syracuse ran into him.
Man,
flag down.
Silly move there.
And Johnson hammered as he catches it at the 40. A 48-yard punt.
Roughing the kicker.
And roughing the kicker is the call.
15-yard penalty.
First down, NC State.
Yeah, you know, that's Riley on the edge, fast player. If you're going to go for it, go for it. That's a big hit on that catch. Nice catch by Johnson.
That was C.J. Riley with the stick, and NC State's going to get it right back.
Can't be happy for Dino Babers there. You just got a 3 and out, and then you run into him. Why even go for the block there? You're going to get good field position, so you got to be a smart player on that rush. He's rubbing the back of Johnson's neck, making sure he's okay. He's like, you're going to be all right. I got you. I got you. He's very, he embraces the team quite a bit. I mean, he's constantly talking to guys, QBs, the receivers. You know, you can tell there's a lot of great camaraderie between the player and coach.
Couple of fakes in the backfield. A deep ball and wide open on the run. And the catch made at the 20. Kelvin Harmon. Touchdown, NC State. Off of the penalty. 74 yards.
Just a scissors concept. And I'm telling you now, Harmon is a guy that can really break your back if you're on defense. He's #1 in the ACC in yards per game. But again, protection is great. A little bit of action in the back. And nobody's home. I mean, the distance between him and Bradshaw was about 5 yards. And that puts Harmon now 4 catches for 100 yards in the first half.
Touchdown passes tonight of 67, 82, and now 74 from the 2 quarterbacks.
Watch this, 2 receivers. You got a corner out underneath, pulled the safety out. And again, Bradshaw just out of position. If you remember the game last week, NC State fans will, Harmon dropped a wide open touchdown down the sidelines early in the game. That's mental focus to come back, have trust in your receiver, and to make a big play.
1,000-yard receiver last year, a 100-yard receiver today. Let's huddle up right now. Anthony Rocky and Kelvin Harmon.
Who's that wide receiver in the NFL you try to pattern your game at, watch his game, and try to add something to your repertoire?
I think I really like Michael Thomas because I feel like our frame is like similar. We kind of play alike. He's a physical receiver. He played with a lot of confidence, and as much as I watch his film a lot, I just see our game similar.
We had some good fun with it, and Beth, you know, we were told he doesn't smile or say much. We were able to get a couple smiles on it. And before people beat me up on Twitter, that is a scarf. It's a little chilly, and I was catching a cold, so that's what I was wearing there. But I'll tell you what, Harmon is a factor. He's a big-time player. He looks a little bit like Julio Jones if you just kind of look at him real fast. Outstanding player.
He wears the same #3, right, that Michael Thomas wore at Ohio State?
Yes, he does.
The preemptive turtleneck social media strike from Anthony Becht. Fighting through the cold today, folks. He's a trooper. Rocky?
Anthony, you are so lucky that you did that preemptive because I was getting ready to crush you.
Come on, man.
I was getting ready to kill you.
I live in Florida, brother. I don't look at, oh boy, look at this. And it's also pushing my neck up a little bit, so it's making me a little heavier there. So folks, I'm not that big, and the jaw area is normally not that thick right there.
Keeping his voice box warm. Okay,
yeah, I got about 9 gallons of tea up here that I've been drinking throughout this game.
4 plays, 91 yards in 1:11, and they got the ball right back due to the roughing the kicker penalty on that NC State drive, and they are quickly right back in it. We got a 1-touchdown game.
Yeah, we do have a ball game. Now, listen, you came out fast, Syracuse. There's no question. Dungy now and this offense have to produce. Big special teams penalty gave NC State life after they made a stop on defense. Let's see if NC State's defense can pick up some steam now.
525 yards of combined offense here in the first half as a flag flies.
Legal receiver downfield, offense number 10 was covered at the snap. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Jeff McConney, our referee today. The numbers for Finley and Dungy, the 2 seniors, say are showing off in primetime tonight. Couple of scores each.
Yeah, it's pretty even now where Dungy came out firing. But, you know, you give Finley enough chances, Beth. He can be very dangerous, and he's showing today he can bounce back. They didn't look at the scoreboard. It was early in the football game. They've slowly gotten themselves back in this.
They were in big trouble early. Trailed 24-7, but 10 unanswered has them right back in it, and they've got the momentum right now. Ingram, we've called Chris's name a lot. He had the coverage there for the tackle, and it's 3rd down.
It's amazing how games kind of change as you watch it, right? All the explosive plays down the field, a couple quick passes now, you get another penalty, and all of a sudden you find yourself at 3rd and 15, advantage North Carolina State's defense.
Jumped off sides. Dungy all day. Free play, interception. Picked off by Jermaine Pratt. And another flag flies on the interception return.
Hey, he had a free play there. It's going to be offsides.
Looked like it might have been Ali McNeil.
There is no foul for unnecessary roughness during the play, offside. Defense number 29, 5-yard penalty, third down.
It's a great heads-up play by the redshirt sophomore, Service, the center. He sees it cross the line. This is just an automatic snap. Didn't go on the snap count, and just a heads-up play, free play by Dungy, tries to make something happen, but he knows that was offsides. Good heads-up plays by both of these guys.
So now it's 3rd and 10. They need the 35-yard line for the first down. Mo Neal is the offset back. Cuse hasn't converted a 3rd down yet. Dungy gonna try and run for it. It's a foot race, and NC State will win it. Jarius Moorhead taking out the quarterback, and it's 4th down.
Moorhead was just in the slot covering a small receiver. Well, when he has a free run downhill at 220 pounds, you better get ready for him. Dungy's a big guy. He's got big pipes for a quarterback, but when you got a downhill safety weighing 220, that's a problem. Big hit by Moorhead.
And that big hit really gave some juice to this NC State sideline here. It's really the first time we've seen it on defense tonight.
Clock running, under 6 minutes to go in the half. Thomas with the fair catch at the 27, a 41-yard punt. The boos you're hearing were the collision with the Syracuse punter, but there was no flag.
Yeah, watch it. The player may have gotten pushed in. Get hard to see from that angle.
It appeared that was the right call. How about a Texas update from Chris Cotter?
Yeah, y'all, T. Boone Pickens just walked in. Let's go out to Stillwater after an Oklahoma State touchdown. Sam Ehlinger, who has a bum shoulder, going to keep it himself 7-7 right now on ABC mid-first quarter.
Well, that's a big one for Texas, trying to stay in the playoff picture. And right now in the driver's seat in the Big 12 with their win earlier this year over Oklahoma.
Wow.
On the run, the catch is made down inside the 35 and hauled down at the 30-yard line. Harmon again having a huge first half.
Melifonwu was going to get up in his face. Well, this is not a favorable matchup anymore. Tries to grab him. That's excellent concentration by Kelvin Harmon with the pull jersey to find that football and hold it and bring it down. He's lucky. Melifonwu caught his foot. He was going for 43 yards on that catch. Look at those numbers, Beth.
They are going after the redshirt freshman. 143 yards already for Harmon. Gillespie. They've only run for 24 yards so far in the half, but the passing game's on point. And after the cool start with the big touchdown throw, he's at 70% again.
You start making plays like that on the outside, that counters that blitz package that Syracuse is trying to bring. Let's see if they stay with it or they get a little softer in coverage here.
Finley again to the outside, trying to work on Melifonwu. Incomplete. 3rd down. And the home crowd trying to rile up some support for the Syracuse defense. They're on their heels right now. That's Chris Slayton.
Offside, defense number 95, unabated to the quarterback. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
So now it's 3rd and 3 for NC State.
Chris Slayton, probably the most experienced defensive lineman on the football team. 37th start today. Very unorthodox for him, but again, changes everything now on 3rd down, Beth. We're third and now a manageable 5. Jacoby Myers, number 11. He's the inside receiver right here. He's been a little quiet. Let's see if he can get himself open for a first down.
Pressure coming. Finley gets it away, and it is caught by Myers. First down to the 15.
Well, Kelvin Harmon, and look at him
Still going down inside the 5, but they're going to say he stepped out of bounds right around the 4. What an effort by Myers. And they're going fast tempo, a gain of 20.
Yeah, that's a great job. He mistimed his jump, but he's still able to bring it down. It's an excellent job.
He's out of bounds.
Going on the field is under further review.
Yeah, regardless, he's got the first down here, but this is just a heck of a job. A defensive back going over top of you. Kelvin Harmon was not in the game. He's 6'2", 202 pounds, and it's too much on tape. He's been the most active receiver, Beth, catching footballs.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah, looks like his...
Is that the 14? But that is still first down yardage.
He's number 1 in the ACC, Beth, with 7.6 receptions per game. He missed the opener this year. He's been pulling those catches in at a very high rate.
He's got a couple now on 5 targets. It's first and goal. And it is another long drive, chewing up a lot of clock. We're back on their own 27.
And Beth, to your point, everyone talks about how hard it is on a defense with an up-tempo offense. I'm here to tell you, getting slow-bled like this, where they're just picking up first downs, that's equally, if not more tough and demoralizing on a defender.
Kind of like Rocky taking the hits from Apollo, 15 rounds, slowly just pounding away. It's become a very physical game right now. And, you know, I got to give credit to North Carolina State. I mean, you get shocked like that early on in the first quarter. A lot of things can go downhill. Last week, they got blown out by Clemson. Leadership by Finley, keeping it going, able to get some plays off of some penalties by Syracuse late. All of a sudden, you got a chance to get back in this football game.
They were down 17, and now a chance to tie it up. If it is indeed at the 14-yard line, it would be a 10-yard completion, Finley to Myers.
And that's what you get out of a 6-year quarterback like Finley. He never once down here on the sideline, when I looked toward him, never once looked panicked, never looked flustered at all. He knew they continue to just run this offense the efficient way they've been all season. They could stay in this game, and they are.
The ruling on the field was down at the 4-yard line, but our replay showed him sliding his foot out around the 14.
After further review, the runner was out of bounds at the 14-yard line. Please reset the game clock. Please reset the game clock to 4 minutes and 24 seconds, 4:24 on the game clock. The clock
So on 1st and 10, Harmon will return to the lineup. And so is Gillespie back in the backfield.
Syracuse will mix it up. They got Bradshaw at the top guarding Harmon.
Finley's looking that way. Into the end zone, incomplete. Emezi. Second down.
That's a good job switching it off here. Bradshaw coming back. Again, almost a perfect throw.
I'll tell you what, guys, Finley took another big shot on that play. Again, the more shots I've seen him take in a game all season.
And that definitely adds up, Beth. Every single time a quarterback takes a hit, and we're only in the second quarter.
That one was from Ryan Guthrie. He's back down to 50%. His completion rate well below his average. But he's got him on the move right here, looking to tie it up. And they'll run it up the middle with Reggie. And here comes another third down. State is 3 of 9 today. One of the best in the country coming in tonight, not so far. And a carryover from their Clemson game last week. Four-man rush to the end zone. High point it is Imezi, and it's incomplete.
Wow. Just misses him. Basically the same play as earlier. Imezi does a nice job of going up and getting it, but he can't keep his feet from hitting the out-of-bounds line. That's unfortunate. Had 21 Williams chasing him from behind, and Finley just overshoots it by that close.
Just stepped out after hauling it in. And now the field goal attempt from 28 yards for Dunn. And Christopher is 2 for 2. And it's a 27-20 ball game. Well, tomorrow at 10 Eastern on ESPN, it's Sunday NFL Countdown presented by Snickers. And before Aaron Rodgers and Jared Goff were in the NFL, they were both quarterbacks at Cal. We'll find out what they like about each other. And a behind-the-scenes look at that Minneapolis Miracle as it's a return matchup for Minnesota and New Orleans. That's all coming up on Sunday NFL Countdown.
Look at this loaded package here. All the players from last year's team, most of them being defensive linemen. 4 defensive linemen drafted from the 1st to the 4th round. And, of course, running back Nyheim Hines with the Colts is having a good year himself. So a lot of talent, Beth, not on this roster anymore. Coach Doran trying to fill those holes, fill those needs, and continue to build through recruiting.
That was 8 starters from the defensive side that moved on. And after taking the shot from Syracuse in the first quarter, they have rallied here in the second. 3:13 to go in the half. Fair catch was made inside the 25. They'll bring it out to the 25. And an update now from Chris Cotter.
Okay, let's update you on the game on ESPN. That's A&M and Mississippi State. Kellen Mond really coming into his own this year. Perfect time for a screen. With the blitz coming, hitting Courtney Davis. He'll take it to the house, 10-7 right now at the half. Texas A&M on top. Halftime coming up in our game. Morinacho will join me. We'll talk about the big goings-on in the SEC. Georgia gets the win over Florida. Kentucky, a last-second win, sets up Georgia and Kentucky next week for all the marbles in the SEC East. And no huddle rapid-fire highlights will go around the country. See you in a bit.
And we've got a quarterback change to talk about, Chris, as Tommy DeVito comes on, and the handoff to Mo Neal. The Orange scoring on 4 of their first 5 possessions, but back-to-back punts, and now DeVito will come on.
Yeah, Bosco Prep, this young man came out last week, 5 minutes left in the game, and took this team to a victory.
And that's what he does well, right, Anthony? He can sling it. First down across the 45.
Yeah, his deep ball's phenomenal. He's got great touch. Preps like a starter every single week on top of it, but we do have only a small sample size. They see it every day in practice. Let's see if he can continue the hot streak.
3 touchdowns last week against North Carolina. A lot of contact heading down the field, and Tim Kidglass was right there with Taj Harris every step of the way, and we got a flag down.
15-yard penalty, first down.
PI, Rocky.
Guys, the other thing you notice down here on the field with DeVito, the ball comes out of his hands so quick, got a really quick release. I was watching him in warm-ups, and then this series he's been in, seeing the same thing.
Sounded like Rocky, were you running to try and keep up with the offense here? You were huffing and puffing down the sideline.
I'm doing my best, Beth. I ain't the athlete I used to be, all right?
Oxygen, oxygen.
Bodies tumbled, DeVito will throw it away, and Rocky almost made the catch. How about that?
I told you I wasn't the athlete I used to be.
You didn't have to show America, Rocky. Well, let's take a look at Tommy DeVito.
Yeah, the deep ball was on the money. I mean, this kid came in the game in the 4th quarter, 5 minutes left, and just lit it up like he'd been playing the entire game. There's the game winner right there. Just an amazing job by him coming in and filling those shoes. This kid was prepared. He's ready, and he's leading them down the field right now.
Again, may or may not be permanent because Dungy looked pretty good in the first quarter tonight. That's Nykeem Johnson. How about the legwork and can he high point this? Rocky getting up.
That's that credit card vertical jump he's got there. Could slide 3 credit cards right under those feet. That was his combine jump right through his hands. Come on, you got to pull that down, right?
Hey, I got a microphone in one hand, a chart in the other hand. Come on.
You know what they
got
say
dress
about
shoes
excuses.
on. You know, look at these.
They're Cole Haans. They're sneakers for crying out loud.
Looking at the linebacker that he once was.
Yeah, that's the thing. You know, just ain't the guy I used to be. You know, it's just one of those deals.
The Ginger Ninja.
I feel you.
Here goes DeVito again on 3rd and 4, and he's in trouble, and he'll heave it out of bounds. So NC State, after taking a couple of hits, responding there to DeVito.
So you see the difference, Beth, right? When you got a guy like Dungy, he probably would have been able to spin around.
Oh, and they throw the late flag. Sorry, Anthony.
And get out of that.
Yeah.
Lost it down at the spot of the foul. 4th down.
And then you have a quarterback like DeVito that wants to hang in the pocket and let things happen. I asked Coach about that, how you weigh that on those situations. Right there kind of shows itself a little bit, throwing it out and then getting the intentional grounding. So, minute 40 left, Beth. Opportunity now for NC State. Picking up momentum with 3 timeouts left to potentially drive it down the field.
And this ends up costing them 16 yards. Thayer Thomas back at his own 10. Quarterbacks in the first half have been carving up the secondaries. Both Dungy and Finley averaging over 22 yards per completion. And NC State a chance to run a little 2-minute drill here with 1.5 minutes to go. Well, earlier today, Clemson still continuing to show out. That's the worst home loss for Florida State. Clemson just mauled them. They are in control in the ACC. Georgia winning the cocktail party today over Florida. So they still have the upper hand in the East with Kentucky and Penn State getting a big day from Trace McSorley. They beat Iowa. So now it's Northwestern in the Big Ten West driver's seat.
And Clemson may have to thank Syracuse for waking them up, because since that game, they've been ripping through the ACC, winning by a huge margin each in the last 3 weeks.
They've had a couple of long drives to score some points, and the run for a first down, Gillespie. Can NC State do it again? 90 yards away.
Now this is where you have a premium deal here on offense, with Finley being the quarterback, time running down, understanding the situation, being able to run this.
Boy, that's a good effort from Reggie Gillespie. He appeared to get hurt the play before and hustled to get back in the backfield.
That's 2 shots in a row he just took there. Going to take a timeout after that one.
Well, that young man showing his toughness. He was looking to try and get to the sideline, but they needed him to stay in the backfield to hustle to the line of scrimmage. Right inside the Carrier Dome, 1:11 to go in the first half, and what an aerial attack it has been for the Orange and the Wolfpack.
They have not disappointed. I mean, we thought this was going to be high scoring. Syracuse comes out of the gates, Dungy with pressure behind him, trying to be the guy, and continues to play well today. They're mixing it up at quarterback, and NC State says, listen, we're just going to keep going, play after play, take it one play at a time, and they find themselves with an opportunity now to potentially get another score if they can get a drive together.
Syracuse owned the first quarter, NC State owning the second quarter.
2 quarterbacks talking and communicating there. Dungy, the leader, working there with DeVito. It's good to see those things. 632
yards of total offense in the first half, and Brady Bodine will add to that and move the chain. Stops the clock for a moment. 1:05 to go.
A little surprised they're not being more aggressive here, Anth, right?
Yeah, you know, Cuse is playing a little softer here. They're trying to take advantage of some long runs.
Well, perhaps trying to set up that Syracuse secondary. Finley already has touchdown throws of 67 and 74 yards. Well, this week on ESPN's Monday Night Football, Tom Brady and the New England Patriots are in Buffalo to take on the Bills. How about Brady? All-time against Buffalo, 28-3 is his record as a starter Our coverage begins with Monday Night Countdown, served by Applebee's at 6 Eastern, followed by the game at 8:15. It's also simulcast on ESPN2 in Spanish and available on your ESPN app. There's a look at
Who are you picking that game, Beth? What do you think off that graphic right
you
there?
got a lot of Buffalo
I'm just saying,
fans in these
I don't
parts.
know. If I had $1, I mean, geez, look at that, 28-3. Holy smokes. Domination.
The folks around him just keep changing, and he just keeps winning.
He came out in the same draft class. How's he look like that? You know, he's got the nice hair. It's amazing. Keeping his weight down. Impressed.
Final minute of the half. Finley sending everybody deep downfield. To the sideline, incomplete. Looking for Myers. Busted up by Evan Foster. 3rd down.
Now back to Rocky's point. You got yourself in that scenario, running the ball 3 times. Now you try to chuck one down. Nobody's open because of blanket coverage. Maybe you've taken yourself out of a potential opportunity now because of the casualness in the run game.
Finley, incomplete, just out of the reach of Harmon, and that will stop the clock for a punt here with 42 seconds to go, and the Orange will have 1 timeout.
If you go to Harmon's Twitter page, I told him yesterday, all I see him is working on one-handed catches. Well, here he's wide open. He's not able to pull that down. Finley not able to hit the open receiver in the seam. Very uncharacteristic with his accuracy not to deliver a strike there. It's unfortunate. Good job by Syracuse getting bailed out.
Can they do anything with the limited time? Sean Riley, who does have a punt return for a touchdown this year against UConn. On the receiving end here. Fair catch, so they are 70 yards away with a field goal kicker who has hit one from 54 yards this season, and they're going back to Dungy.
I'm not a big fan of the back and forth game. I mean, if you're going to go with DeVito, maybe stick with him, but Dungy's coming out, man. He started on fire, dropping, then the vertical pass game has been really efficient, getting the ball down the football field and making plays for this offense.
And that's the thing with switching quarterbacks, Sam. You wonder now, does Dungy feel the need to press a little bit? And when maybe he should throw the ball away, he tries to fit a ball into a tight window because he wants to prove he's the guy. That's something to watch here the rest of the game.
Already 220 yards and 2 touchdowns, airing it out. Incomplete, and a flag on the coverage of Jamal Custis by Tishon Smith.
And we'll see. That may be offense, but there was definitely some contact there. Again, you got to get your head around. That's key. And you look, you see.
Pass interference. Defense number 20. 15-yard penalty, 1st down.
A little wishy-washy to me. Look, you want to see the DB's head get around. If he did, he'd been fine. Custis was climbing over the helmet there, but hands-on contact to the receiver. They are going to call that if you're not trying to find a football.
Closer to the field goal, 29 seconds to go. But do the Orange want more than that? Dungy chased, chucks, out of bounds. Deontay Holden made him throw it.
That's a lot of time, too, for Dungy. This defensive line for North Carolina State, when they're rushing 4, Rocky, they got to get better penetration, better opportunities to get to the quarterback. Right now, not showing that.
No, you're right. I haven't down here on the field, and I've not really seen or felt much pressure from NC State's front 4 all night.
And that can come from running games, Beth, some twists. You know, right now, just not getting the penetration that we've seen in the past when they had 4 guys get drafted this season.
Setting up the screen. Mo Neal. 1st down inside the 45 and a gain of 11.
Starting to see a little bit more here of Mo Neal, Beth. And I think the biggest reason why it came in late is because he had a late 4th quarter fumble last week. Maybe had been in the doghouse. Now it's his chance to redeem himself late in the 2nd quarter, and he's showing that with some good runs and a nice screen.
Let's take a look at today's unexpected outcome, brought to you by ExxonMobil. And it's Mo Neal.
Watch this. Oh, look out. That was probably the best defensive play North Carolina had last week. Well, I got to give credit to the referee. His eyes are in the right spot. He's watching the line to see if there's any holding. His eyes aren't on the running back, and he gets knocked over for it, but he's doing his job, Beth.
New stat from the stat nerds, Yump, yards after running into the umpire, and Mo Neal picking some up there. Another unexpected outcome. All right, so 1st and 10. Syracuse, 1 timeout left. Dungy stepping up. He will run with it, breaking a tackle. Eric Dungy getting out of bounds. 6 seconds to go.
It's a factor, right, Beth? That right there, and he actually took his time in the pocket and tried to let it develop. Nothing's there, and he gets a big gain that now puts him in field goal range, or at least an opportunity for a field goal range for a young kicker that's been ice this entire season.
They will turn to Andre Schmidt here, 6 seconds to go, and try and make this a 7-point lead. It would be a 45-yarder that's in his range. He's already hit from 29 tonight. Here comes the ice pack from Dave Doran.
30-second timeout, NC State.
You don't take timeouts to the locker room. Use them, right? He's got another one in the, is that it? The last one. So you might as well take it and ice the young kicker.
Well, this season, for every field goal and extra point made by participating universities, Allstate will make a contribution to the university's general scholarship fund. Thank you to Allstate. An offensive outburst from the Orange and the Wolfpack tonight. 24-20, and Syracuse looking to tack on 3 more.
You know, worst case scenario, the Wolfpack got to feel pretty good about how they survived this half, because it was going downhill big time for them early in the first quarter.
With 670 yards combined total offense tonight. Here's Andre Schmidt, 45-yarder. On its way, and it is good. The snap from Aaron Belinsky and the hold from Nolan Cooney. And Schmidt ends the half, 27-20 Orange.
This kid's been money, man. He could be one of their best kickers ever. Only a redshirt freshman's got a strong leg, confident kicker, and he's making them at a very high percentage.
Well, right after this short break, Chris Cotter, Jim Mora, and Emmanuel Acho will join you from the studio for our halftime report. We do indeed have all night as we welcome you back to ESPN College Football Primetime, presented by Outback Steakhouse. And a night for the offenses and a night for the quarterbacks to chuck it around the Carrier Dome in a 27-20 game, over 650 yards of combined offense. As we get set for the third quarter, Syracuse will receive. They got the late field goal to stem the tide late in that first half after the comeback by NC State. And we've got ourselves a 7-point game as we get set for that Syracuse offense to head back out there. Beth Mowins along with Anthony Beck. We've got Rocky Boyman with us as well. What a show by Dungy and Finley in that first half.
An offensive explosion and a lot of momentum shifts by both teams in this football game. Really started off with Syracuse. Dungy came out guns a-blazing, throwing the deep ball, very accurate, very strong, getting his playmakers involved early in the football game. And then this kind of changed the game a little bit, roughing the passer, and that gave Finley an opportunity to get some strikes down the field.
First play of the third, a completion to Taj Harris. Eric Dungy is back out there. He was replaced by Tommy DeVito for one possession late in the half. And then Dungy led him on the field goal drive, and here they go with the ground game, churning it out for a first down across the 35, and let's check in with Rocky Boyman.
Yeah, guys, you just mentioned a high-flying, high-scoring game like this. I'm telling you right now, the difference is going to be turnovers. We've not seen one yet in this game, but a late turnover could be the difference with these two offenses going back and forth.
Surprised he didn't say he wanted to see some more defense out here. A couple turnovers, that's what we need.
Dungy looking to air it out, and overthrows his intended receiver. And here come the flags from all angles.
Yeah, Griffin had his hand basically pulling the back of the jersey for about 10 yards on that route. Didn't have to do it either.
Pass interference, defense number 21, 15-yard penalty, first down.
So the nickelback has become a big problem because Tanner Ingle got burned on the 2 touchdowns, and now this is his replacement, Griffin.
I mean, you got to find the football. He's grabbing his face mask, the back of his jersey. I mean, you're on top of him. Just have confidence in your technique. Rocky, sometimes these DBs just don't trust what they're doing, and they're in good spots.
Well, I think what's happened is the last 2 weeks, they've been hit pretty good in the secondary in terms of passing. I just think the ball's in the air, they start panicking.
That's their 3rd PI tonight. Catch is made by Johnson for a first down, and that's down to the 36-yard line. Orange on the move. Gain of 13 there, 1st and 10. And what did Coach Babers tell us yesterday when we talked about what goes into the decision as to who will play quarterback? He said, our offense is a racing car, and we want our QB to make the tires sing. And it's been Dungy singing the song tonight for the Orange and doing it well. Trying to offset what has happened the last 2 seasons, a late season fade that cost them a trip to the postseason.
You saw 2 play changes. They rolled coverages both times to try to confuse what they were seeing.
Dungy in trouble, ball's out, Orange able to snag it. That was Jermaine Pratt that got to the quarterback and the center. Aaron Service jumped on it.
Defensive, good job of stripping that ball out, and fortunate that Service was there, the center, to jump on that ball. But some chess match right now, offense and defensive coaches against each other.
Loss of 5. 3rd down and 14. And a couple of teams that can become bowl eligible with a win tonight. Dungy down the middle, Riley going up to snag it, first down, Orange.
Well, Griffith in the nickel right now, they feel like they have an advantage. Look at him trying to grab every time, trying to hold on for dear life against Riley, who arguably is the quickest receiver on the field.
The receiver screen to Johnson. They'll pick up 8 more there.
That nickel back position sometimes isn't fair. When you get those kind of players where they can move and they have that quick twitch, it is tough for a big nickel corner guy to defend it.
Here they go with the even faster tempo. Riley diving for first down yardage. Let's see where they spot him. And there they go, moving the chains. First down from the 12.
Top of the screen, Custis was calling for the football earlier.
He's their 6'5" target. Instead, they'll run it. Strickland diving down to the 4.
Lighter box, spread your defense out so you get the numbers you want, and then you hand it off. A nice change up here for Syracuse offense.
Boy, and Strickland did not want to come to the sideline. They'll switch up their package. They'll go power here on 2nd down and 2.
And you know who's coming in, 36 Elmore. He's right here. He's 282 pounds. Just follow that guy.
Howard will try and do just that, and NC State would not have it.
Yeah, too much dancing around the hole for Howard there, a true freshman. He's got to be able to just follow the blockers and hit it hard. See this? Nice block up front, but you see that dance right there? When you're on the inside the 5-yard line, you cannot do it. Surprising they didn't have Strickland in there, number 4, a little more experienced back that'll get downhill.
3rd and 3, another sideline check. Dungy will keep it spin, and he's got the first down, not the touchdown.
And he rode that real long on that one. He was trying to bait number 45, Rosebarrow. Watch this, he's just holding on, holding on, holding on. He's like, please go down, defensive end, and he just stays there. He trips. What a spin move. And he hit that B button, but it didn't quite keep his balance to get in. You got to have strong hands, Beth.
Yeah.
When you're riding that running back, he's definitely, when you're holding it in there, he's trying to squeeze it and pull it away from you, and then Dungy's strong enough to get it back out.
Here come the big bodies again with Elmore and Kleinberg and Jarvion Howard. He's already got a 2-yard rushing touchdown.
There's got to be a pass off this too, right, Beth? You can't just do the same thing.
Number 20, that penalty's decline. Result of the play is first down.
Oh, wow.
Oh, there was an offside on the DB, Smith, that they'll decline. They'll take the first down anyway. 1st and goal. 6-0 lineman for the Orange. Howard to the 1, taken down there. Bruce Miller, one of the guys that got there, along with Darian Roseborough. 2nd and goal.
And just a little tentative there. When you're down deep in there, you just got to put your head down and go as fast as you can and rip through those arm tackles of those defensive linemen.
Short yardage again, Howard. No signal, stuffed at the 1. Moorhead stopping him, and it's 3rd down.
Nice surge by the defensive line of NC State. Linebackers filling and getting push. It's a nice job. 41 more also getting in there.
They'll try again.
No signal yet.
Linesman coming in from the side, and there is the signal. Touchdown, Syracuse, on the 14th play of their opening drive of the 2nd half.
When you're 230 pounds at the quarterback position, get some push up front and drive your legs. Look at Elmore pushing him from behind. It's hard to tell, but it looks like they got plenty of momentum over the goal line. There's the big 280-pound fullback. He's only 6 foot. That might be a stretch as well. Probably 5'11", 282.
A rushing touchdown now to go along with 2 passing touchdowns on the day for Eric Dungy. And that touchdown has now been confirmed. All scores under review. And here comes the PAT from Schmidt. Aided by the penalty to keep the drive alive, and the Cuse takes advantage, going 75 yards and a 2-touchdown lead. You're watching the ACC on ESPN. Inside the Carrier Dome, 34-20, Syracuse with the lead over number 22 NC State. 14 plays, 75 yards, 5:45, and the Orange fans have come well equipped. They are ready to play tonight. Their first primetime Saturday night home game in 8 years, and the Orange faithful hoping that Dino Babers and company have turned a corner and are back to the days of prosperity when Syracuse was contending for conference championships and in the title chase. It would be a big boost for the program to get a win and a trip to a bowl game. Let's check into the studio and Chris Cotter.
Okay, got a 2 for 4. Let's start with Texas and Oklahoma State over on ABC. Sam Ehlinger, that's his 2nd rushing touchdown of the day, but still Pokes leading by 10 2nd quarter. Meanwhile, out in San Diego, Notre Dame, they've gotten 3 rushing touchdowns from Dexter Williams. Here's the 3rd. They've gone to the half, 27-0 Irish.
Notre Dame has not had a whole lot of success heading west of the Rockies, but looking good so far tonight, trying to remain one of the 4 undefeated teams in the FBS. USF losing today, so it's down to the Irish, Clemson, Alabama, and UCF. First touch of this 2nd half for NC State, and it's problematic.
Finley trips his right guard, number 66, Fed Jackson, steps on his foot here. Watch the feet right there. Wow, that'll be a loss on first down.
Loss of 3, 2nd and 13. Finley with 2 long touchdown passes in that first half of 67 and 74 yards. Slings it out across the 30, and Kelvin Harmon continues to have a monster night. His 6th catch, he's now over 150 yards.
Free rusher coming right at Finley's face. He doesn't panic, delivers the accurate throw.
Don't forget the first release of the college football playoff rankings will be coming out on ESPN on Tuesday night.
Oh,
the top 4.
A lot of things going on here right now with this confusion up front, trying to get set up. Referees allowing Syracuse to get adjusted as well. See if this causes a problem for them on this opportunity.
Play clock is at 2. Finley with the sneak trying to get the first down, and he's got it.
That lineman may get an earful when he comes off the field. We may want to track that. Number 42, whoever that guy was. 71, let's see what he's done.
Well, that is good enough to move the sticks.
Doran just said, oh, here we go.
There's Sculthorpe.
I knew somebody was going to get him.
Not too bad.
Yeah, it was all right.
Right there.
That's a
teaching moment.
Team player.
They've trailed by as many as 17. Have rallied once. They're now facing a double-digit deficit again. Finley on the rollout, drops it off to Myers to the 40-yard line. Kylan Winter had the hit. Ryan's 13 for 27 tonight, 276 yards. Pitch and back to Finley.
Wide open.
Got a guy wide open downfield. It's Kerry Angeline looking for a block and cut down at the 9-yard line.
Angeline, he's not the most nimblest of wide receiver, but he sells it good here. Just kind of falls away. Linebackers come, nobody picks him up. You just got to catch. Those are the hardest balls, Rocky, to catch.
And the biggest problem, Anthony, is they did not get the call, and they were standing looking to the sideline. The ball was in the air.
Quick slant down to the 1 after the 49-yard pass play. Finley to Angeline. They're going to go quick again on 2nd and goal. Big pass plays, the story of the night here in Syracuse. Bodine's got it, touchdown. NC State responds. 75 yards in just over 3 minutes.
That's 2 offenses way too easy going right down the field. Who's going to pick it up on defense first and find a way to stop some of this scoring?
Christopher Dunn on for the PAT. And he's got it. Back to a 1-score game.
Cuse had some tricks early. Well, guess what? So does North Carolina State. Throwing it to the big tight end. He's not the fastest, but he got the job done. And Bodine easily gets across the goal line. Touchdown.
ESPN College Football, brought to you by Liberty Mutual Insurance. Only pay for what you need.
Oh, look at Fright Nights at the fair, the New York State Fairgrounds. The Michael Myers house, Jurassic Dark. Just some of the favorites out at the fairgrounds. How about some Halloweenish mascots, Anthony, from the creepy to the scary to the hot?
Yeah, you know, this guy here, Wooshak. Now, look, they don't have a football team, but I diligently searched for the scariest one last night. Took me about 4 hours. I found one. That guy's scary.
Wooshak got to you? A little stormtrooper in attendance tonight? And the kick, the touchback. Let's check in with Rocky.
Yeah, guys, you might have noticed at halftime there was a race out here on the field. I talked to some students, and the deal was some administration went through the student section. They found the best costumes. Those got selected to come out on the field for a 100-yard race. The winner received courtside seats to a Q's basketball game this year. How about that?
Those could be very nice to have this year. High hopes for the Syracuse basketball team. Got everybody coming back, including All-America candidate Tyus Battle. Jermaine Pratt with the tackle there. Here's Rocky with some of the devilish mascots. Sparky looking over his shoulder.
That guy will sneak up on you, I'm telling you.
The Demon Deacon, was he talking to you, Rocky? I didn't think they were supposed to say anything. But
he was whispering sweet nothings to me, yes. Yeah, that's Sparky. Every time we toured that facility last year, you look around your shoulder, bam, there he was.
Elusive. Getting any pressure on the quarterbacks has been elusive tonight for these two defenses. They continue to throw strikes. 15-yard gain there, Dungy to Johnson.
It's a heck of a job extending your arms and catching this ball in the middle of the field and pulling it to your body. Well done by Johnson.
695 combined passing yards tonight. Syracuse with a pair of 100-yard receivers, one for NC State. Dungy will run. Dungy will take a hit. Syracuse looking for the flag, and there it is. Cannot get after that quarterback when he slides. Deontay Holden, I think, and Isaiah Moore were in on it.
Personal foul, face mask, defense, 15-yard penalty, first down.
Yeah, he reached over behind him and just grabbed that face mask right there. Didn't let it go. Again, they got guys in place to make that play. Didn't have to do it, but that's going to cost you 15.
That'll move Syracuse inside the 40. Under 5 minutes to go here in the third. Both sides scoring on their first possessions of this quarter.
Here we go again, Nance.
Yep.
We saw a blitz look. They changed the play. They changed the defense back.
Dungy gets it out to Riley down to the 31-yard line, shoved out by Kid Glass. Gain of 8.
Just a chess match right now. And I'll bet you Syracuse, if they watch that, they may try to set them up. But North Carolina State's done a nice job of mixing it up and not quite doing it every play.
I think one thing they could do is just go a lot of tempo. That would limit the amount of looks that NC State could give them.
Yep.
Dungy will throw it downfield. Has a man. Harris at the 10 in for the score.
Beth, that's some serious handwork by the quarterback in the backfield, tricking pretty much everybody, even the corner on the outside.
How do you stop that if you're on defense? That's just an incredible play.
331 yards passing, 3 touchdown throws for Eric Dungy. A 75-yard drive, just 5 plays under 2 minutes. And the offense is having their way inside the dome.
Some serious RPO action here, riding it low. Number 15, Ingram, he takes the hit, sacrifices for the team, and he gets the ball out to the freshman, Taj Harris. Great play design by Dino Babers.
A night for the offense is Syracuse averaging 42 points per game. They're close to it with 4:11 to go still in the third quarter. NC State trying to keep pace. 3 third quarter possessions, 3 touchdowns for these two offenses. And a new season high for Eric Dungy, 331. Let's break it down, Anthony.
Well, you know, serious ball work on the backside. Look at the vision. These guys get sucked down, and then all of a sudden, the old ropey-dope up the sidelines by Harris here, just lulling them to sleep. 2 guys colliding, not seeing the football, and by the time they figure it out, Beth, Too late, touchdown.
3 TD passes to 3 different guys tonight for Eric Dungey. We weren't even sure if he was going to be the starting quarterback when we began tonight. Mystery surrounding who would get the job, he or Tommy DeVito, the freshman. And it's been Dungey tonight. Finley to the outside. Let's check in with Chris Cotter.
Let's go to ESPN, Mississippi State, Texas A&M. This game has been a good one down in Stark Vegas. Here's Fitz doing what he does from 1 yard out, early fourth quarter. Mississippi State's in the lead. Wazoo. When was the last time a team went down to the farm and put at least 31 on Stanford? Tay Martin with the score there, all even, early fourth.
Thank you, Chris. Approaching 4 minutes to go here in the third in the Dome. And the officials are going to look at this. It certainly appeared that it might have been a catch. They ruled it incomplete to Jacoby Myers.
Yeah, he was way in. I don't know why they didn't initially stay on it, but they called it a non-catch. Watch this, hands on the ball, 1 foot down, 2 foot down, ball's controlled on the body.
Yep.
That'll be a catch.
We'll take a timeout while they review it and be right back. They are still reviewing it upstairs. And the ruling was not a catch, and it certainly looks like they will reverse that here. 2 feet down.
Yeah, ball's controlled. You know, I don't see the ball that came out late as far as completing the catch. I think this would take as long.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure why.
I mean, even if they're thinking about that foot,
yeah,
well, it wasn't true control. He got another foot right there. Maybe they're looking to see if he, yeah, okay. Maybe they thought he drug his other foot on the out of bounds, but clearly did not.
Or making sure they've got the yardage marked off properly here.
To further review, the receiver did complete the process of the catch prior to going out of bounds. The ball he placed at the 29-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 6. The clock will start on my ready.
I don't think Dave Dorn understands why it took so long either. At any rate, NC State will have it at the 29, 2nd down and 6. They'll run it with Gillespie in a burst. And across the 40. Knocked over by Evan Foster, but that's good for a first down and a run of 14.
Yeah, nice job by the center here. Watch the center, Bradbury. Great job holding off that block on 96. Williams.
On 1st and 10, play action. Catch out to midfield. Harmon lunging for a few more, Rocky.
Guys, this is the second drive in a row. I've noticed a little bit of tempo by NC State, and I think they're doing that to limit some of the blitz looks that Syracuse has been bringing here tonight.
And we saw a lot of heat coming in that first half. Finley takes another good hit there.
Yeah, he looks to be cringing a little bit right now, Beth.
7 catches, 163 yards for Harmon tonight on 9 targets. Gillespie cannot get the edge. That was Ryan Guthrie and a loss of 1. It's 3rd and 3, and they're on their feet here in the Dome. In front of the largest crowd of the season, the Orange trying to stay perfect in the Loud House. They'll drop back in coverage and a first down. Finley to Thomas to the 40-yard line.
Job by Thomas. Option route. Gets some space. They fall back in the zone. Just sits right there in the window. And Finley puts it right on his hands.
We have hit the 900-yard mark in total offense tonight. First and 10, NC State.
Who wants to sit in this defensive meeting this week for both of these teams?
It's going to be a long film session for both sides. Finley will keep trying to get to the sideline, and he does. Chased out by Cisco and a gain of 4.
I'm not that old, but I can remember the days when there was 400 yards of total off, 500 yards. That was like a big deal. Now we're going close to 1,000.
Oof. Oh, that's at 114 plays. They're both average over 7 yards per play tonight.
Harmon by himself, top of the screen on the wide side of the field.
He's got Scoot Bradshaw on him up there, and man. Finley looking that way. The hook up to the 25, first down.
Yeah, you know, Bradshaw giving a little more space on Harmon now. Not quite up in his grill like the first time earlier in the game. And then what do? They break it off and they run a nice out-cut route. Good ball placement by Finley. Good catch by Harmon.
Season high receiving for Kelman and his third 100-yard day of the season. Finley chased, and he'll eat it. Down he goes at the 31. Pressure coming from Kingsley Jonathan.
And you know, right there, Beth, Finley, an older player, a lot of experience. Get rid of that ball, throw it out of bounds, throw it in the back of the end zone. Take that loss, it's just huge. 2nd and 16 now. Not good.
4 possessions in that quarter, 3 touchdowns, and NC State got something brewing as we head to the 4th. The winner is going bowling. 41-27 Cuse. to 27, Syracuse with the lead over NC State as we start the 4th quarter. In front of the largest crowd of the season here inside the Carrier Dome. It's Faith and Family Night. Kudos to the folks at Hendricks Chapel for helping set all that up here at the Cuse. It's a 2nd and 16 for NC State, trying to keep pace with the Orange on the 9th play of this drive. They've had it for the last 4 minutes. And Ryan Finley has completed 8 throws in a row. Incomplete on that one, and a flag coming in from the secondary, intended for Myers.
Yeah, that's going to be pass interference.
Pass interference, defense number 19. The ball plays at the spot of the foul, first down.
Gets there a little early in the back of Jacoby Myers. Just watch. Can't see the collision from the back, but when you on the side and from the booth here, you're able to see him push him back. And Myers, be careful now. Don't do anything silly that's going to get a flag by pushing a guy.
Well, Cisco is very lucky he did not get flagged for unsportsmanlike there, right there with the step over of Myers.
True freshman, Beth. A couple of those guys, true freshman players playing for Syracuse that are out on the field on both offense and defense.
Waiting a second for the chain gang. They've been working hard tonight into the red zone here for NC State.
I like the digital down marker
nice
there.
Improvement, right?
High tech.
1st and 10 from the 16. The fake to Gillespie. Finley caught at the goal line. Angeline touchdown.
When in doubt, Beth, where do you go? The tight end.
The tight end.
Why not? He's not the fastest, Beth, but he's just enough now as he in, or is his knee down?
Oh, this one might be coming back.
Very close. It's very, very close. Again, it's hard to tell when the knee touches. I'd say right there it's touching. But do we have a good enough angle to see that ball if it's not over the line? Doesn't look like it is, but is it clear?
The ruling is a touchdown, so you'd need evidence that he came up a yard short. Now, I think they will.
Is that clear?
Well, now we're
Is that clear?
working in the shadows of the goal line, Anthony. Let's see if it stands.
I'm
Back
just
in a
saying.
moment. The play was reversed. Knee down at the 1 yard line. So take the points off the board. Carrie Angeline with the catch down to the 1. First and goal, NC State.
Six-five quarterback, Beth, on the half-yard line. See if they get some push.
They'll try Gillespie instead, and he's in. Touchdown.
We'll go with the 240-pound tailback.
That works, too.
That's not bad.
Behind that left side, as you've pointed out, may be the best in the ACC with Bradbury, Prescott, and Jones.
And when you're 240 pounds, there's an advantage of being 5'11" as well, because that leverage that you need is at a premium.
Yes. The yards on the ground have been difficult to come by, but Reggie has picked up some tough ones for him, and that closes out a 10-play, 75-yard scoring drive.
Gillespie gets the ball. Great job. Big body back. Offensive explosion today. Who's going to get a stop tonight?
ESPN College Football is presented by Outback Steakhouse, where you can go big and go home with delivery and takeout.
How about this for a second half in the Dome? Each side has had the ball twice, and all 4 possessions, 75-yard drives for touchdowns. And a 41-34 lead for Syracuse over NC State. Winner gets their 6th win of the season and bowl eligibility, which would be huge for Syracuse. They haven't been in 5 years. The 2nd longest drought in the Power 5 conferences. NC State coming off that 9-win season a year ago, including 6 ACC wins, trying to continue the success under Dave Doran. A return out to the 26 and a studio update with Chris Cotter.
Did I say 31 points down on the farm? How about 38 and counting? Minshew to Renard Bell this time around. 38-31 in the 4th quarter. Wazoo trying to beat Stanford. Meanwhile, over on ABC, Cornelius to Wallace again. This is twice. Look at the adjustment for Wallace. Goes up and gets it. 31-14 at the half.
A lot of scoring around the country, and here in Syracuse, how about those numbers? 925 total, 75 points as we get close to the 120th play of the evening. Still got over 14 minutes to go. Beth Mowens, Anthony Beck, Rocky Boyman with you inside the Carrier Dome. An ACC day where we have already seen Clemson dominate at Florida State. Wake Forest thrashed Louisville. Virginia beat UNC. Been a crazy ACC behind the Clemson Tigers this year. There's a first down to Sean Riley.
Riley versus any linebacker is like a win. It's 100%. I mean, it's impossible to cover him. He's too fast right there. Inside linebacker Pratt, as good as he is, had no shot.
And Eric Dungy and Ryan Finley playing a match game tonight. Congratulations to Eric, by the way. He passes Donovan McNabb as he closes in on 10,000 total yards. His 15th career record here at Syracuse.
McNabb was a pretty solid QB.
I would say so.
Several battles with him and myself in the old Big East days, Beth. Where was your seat during those times?
Right under McNabb's jersey, just a few rows down from the top. There you go.
The nosebleeds.
Watched many a game as a youngster up there.
You didn't have a hookup back then?
Oh. Oh, man. Big sack from Jermaine Pratt. 4th of the night for this defense.
That's a big play. They needed that one.
Dungy looking at that left arm.
You know, one of their better pass protectors as the running back position is Strickland, but Pratt is just too big. 240 pounds, 6'3", just runs right by him.
And after that sack, immediately grabbed for the left arm, his non-throwing arm. Last week, Syracuse turned to Tommy DeVito in the 4th quarter against North Carolina, and Dungy threads the needle to Riley across midfield.
You can't cover him, Beth. Now you put a nickel back on him. Griffin, he's been working him all game, and he just shakes him. Good eye placement by Dungy, looking right, coming back. He's got no answer, 29 yards. Wow, that is just that's a killer for defensive players, Rocky.
And I'll tell you what, Riley is listed at 5'8", 170. I think they're giving him about 1.5 inches and about 10 pounds. He looks tiny down here on field level, but you're right. It's like trying to catch a water bug out there.
Junior from Los Angeles, and he's got 9 catches, 155 yards. That is the 7th 20-yard play or better for the Syracuse offense tonight. Dungy calls his own number on 2nd and 4, 1st down. He and Pratt have had a terrific battle all night long. And it was Jermaine that ran him out. Gain of 9. Injured player is Andreas Bryant, the senior defensive tackle. We will take a break and be right back. Looks like it was some inadvertent helmet to knee contact here.
Yeah, the big boy right here, 91. Strickland's going down to cut the backer. He whiffs and ends up hitting the left knee of Bryant, and it buckles him.
11:32 to go. The Orange a touchdown lead over NC State. 1st and 10 here for Eric Dungy on a night where he's become their career leader in total yards. Throw is out of bounds. Let's check in with Chris Cotter.
I told you in counting down on the farm. Both these teams keep going up and down the field. Let's get you the latest here from Stanford. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside wide open, 38-38, 1:10 in the 4th.
Oh, a nail biter out west. Washington State right now, the best chance to represent the Pac-12, trying to fight their way into the playoff. See, we started the day right, 1 loss in the North for Waz, UW, and Stanford. Now there's another tackle for Jermaine Pratt on the tight end, Ravion Pierce.
Well, tight end delay, been quiet all game. Sometimes you forget about him in this offense. 3rd and short. I'm just saying, Beth, the matchup that's been impossible right now is this kid right here, Riley, number 10. And he's matched up with number 21. That's Griffin. That has not been favorable for North Carolina State right now. See if he's got one more move in him.
Dungy has torn him up for 381 yards, 155 of those to Sean. Instead, they'll run it. Strickland ran right into Pratt.
Interesting.
I think he might be moving up to the draft board here.
Tell you what, in an day and age when not anybody can tackle anymore, Jermaine Pratt does not miss tackles, and he does it with force.
Grad student averaging nearly 9 tackles per game, which leads the ACC. Beyond that tonight, 4th down and short for the Orange. And are they going to go for the field goal attempt here? Andre Schmidt.
And they're running down the clock. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. And they get a timeout.
It's a good thing, too. Wide left.
Prior to the snap, timeout, Syracuse.
They didn't want to lose any yardage. They're looking at a 40-yarder when we come back. Freshman Andre Schmidt, he's 2 for 2, and now looking at a 40-yard field goal attempt. He's already hit from 45. Try and make this a 10-point game with 9:44 to go. Neither defense has been able to get a stop yet in this second half. And the freshman is true. 44-34, Orange, 9:39 to go. Ah, look at the beautiful Dick Clark Studios over at the Newhouse School of Communications. All a part of 15 schools, all on one network, and a new place to call home, the ACC network, coming August of 2019. There it's inside the campus control room. Over 100 games scheduled to be broadcast digitally this year. They're going to go linear with an ESPNU basketball game on December 1st. And a 10-point lead for Syracuse over NC State. Let's take a look at this week's college football rankings, brought to you by Chick-fil-A. 3 of the top 5 idle. Florida State falling to Clemson. Texas in big trouble against Oklahoma State. And Georgia and Oklahoma rolled.
The big question is, where will UCF be, Beth, in the opening college football playoff rankings? Will they get respect, or will they be back in the pack?
First ranking coming up Tuesday, including the top 4. Who will be in those top 4 playoff spots? The first of a month-long of rankings leading up to Selection Sunday on December 2nd. Rocky?
I would say with USF losing today and now UCF being still unbeaten, I think you could make a case where they could jump into that top 10.
I agree. I think they're going to get a little respect early on, maybe as high as 9, but definitely I wouldn't see why you wouldn't put them at 10, especially if Texas loses this game.
Now in our 5th year of the college football playoff. Finley off the pump, buying some time, and throws it away. So that's 4 years now that we've had that top 4 in the rankings. 16 teams open up in the top 4. Only half of them have ultimately advanced to make it into the playoffs. So in no way a sure shot that if you're in that top 4 in the first ranking, you're going to stick around for a month and get into the playoff.
Yeah, a lot of football left to play, that's for sure.
If you've been ranked number 1, 3 of the 4 years, you have advanced to the playoff out of the top 4. 2nd and 10 for Finley. Gillespie hauling a defender along with him. Gets out across the 40, and it's going to be 3rd down and 4. Can either defense make a play?
Jacoby Myers, Beth, in the slot. Another very talented slot receiver in this 3rd and short range.
Heat coming up the middle. Finley downfield, and it's hauled in at the 20 and down inside the 10, Kelvin Harmon.
That's a heck of a job by Harmon. Now, he may have put his hand on the DB's chest here. Little move. Watch right there, but that's a smart play. Melifonwu has been working him all game today. Both of them are 6'3", Beth, but Harmon is just taking over every time they get it to him. And that was taking a risk on that throw there on 3rd and short, going for all the marbles.
50 yards downfield. And Harmon now on the night, 222 receiving yards. The injury for Syracuse.
Yeah, Melifonwu pulled his hamstring there. He's grabbing his hamstring when he went down.
They've had several DBs nicked up.
If Frederick was out of the game, he started it. He was nicked up coming in. Bradshaw's a little nicked up. Melifamu's out now.
Looks like Frederick is back in there. Just a sick night for Kelvin on 11 targets, 9 catches. New career high in yardage for him. First and goal. Finley now at 442 yards through the air. The give is Gillespie met in the backfield and thrown down. Alton Robinson, second and goal.
Well, we haven't heard much of him, but he doesn't bite on the read option with the quarterback. Trust is key that the running back will get it. Finley has only pulled it out once today and is able to make a big play in the backfield.
Pushed back out across the 10. Finley to the end zone, the back shoulder throw to Harmon, touchdown.
It's too easy, Beth. It's too easy. Next man up. Frederick's out there. Doesn't matter. It's just been pick your poison. What's DB is going to try to stop him? And I'll tell you now, he's catching balls, touchdowns, and yards at a torrid pace right now in this game.
A 12-yard touchdown throw, Finley's third, as the QBs continue to carve up the DBs.
It's just the way Harmon's catching the balls. There's a back shoulder throw. He's gone up high to get one. He's beat some guys down the sideline with speed. Just incredible assets he has.
2 guys on the same page, Rocky, right? A lot of experience. They've both played with each other since Finley's gotten here 3 years ago, and they just got a knack for knowing each other's game, and it's showing up big time tonight.
Our 5th drive for a touchdown, a 75-yard drive, the 5th one of the second half for both these teams.
Well, the ball moves, but I think his arm was underneath it. It's hard to tell if the point hits the ground or the hand off of that view. There's no question the ball moves, Beth. But is that right hand underneath the ball? It looks like,
Looks like he stayed under it. Yeah.
It does.
All scoring plays reviewed, so they're taking a look. If it stands, Ryan Finley on the night now averaging almost 20 yards per completion. Crazy numbers for the quarterbacks. And that would certainly appear to be Harmon's second TD.
I mean, it's pretty clear. Again, the ball absolutely moves, Beth. But that hand looks like it was underneath.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands. Touchdown.
So the extra point right here to get NC State within a field goal. Christopher Dunn.
Ooh.
Got it. Well, tomorrow at 10 Eastern on ESPN, it's the Sunday NFL Countdown presented by Snickers, and a closer look at a couple of former Cal QBs, Aaron Rodgers and Jared Goff. They'll go head-to-head Sunday. Also, we'll take a look back at the Minneapolis Miracle. That's Sunday NFL Countdown. And after a full slate of football, stick around for Monday Night Football. Tom Brady and the Patriots are in Buffalo to take on the Bills. Coverage begins with Monday Night Countdown served by Applebee's at 6 Eastern, followed by the game at 8:15. Kelvin Harmon having himself a career night.
He's been targeted 12 times, Beth. 10 catches. He's beat him with speed, physicality, ball placement, getting the separation that he needs. Just a career day for this young man, and Finley has the utmost confidence in him throwing the football to him. Just a monster performance by Harmon. And again, I can't stop thinking he looks exactly like Julio Jones from the face there. He's playing like him tonight, Beth.
235 yards receiving. Orange will have it at the 25, but first we're going to check in with Chris Cotter.
One of those cases where whoever has the ball last wins. Wazoo, Blake Mazza, 42 yards, it's good. Washington State, still just one loss out there in the Palouse. Meanwhile, Ian Book here finds Miles Boykin. Notre Dame up 37-14, late third in San Diego.
Irish trying to stay unbeaten, and one of 4 remaining unbeatens now. And Eric Dungy and the Syracuse offense back out there. The lead has dwindled, though. They're up just 3.
Well, guys, I said it before, I'll say it again. A game like this, lots of offense, and here we are now, a 3-point game late. The team that takes care of the ball the best is going to be the one that wins. Haven't had those turnovers. It's going to be play huge here down the stretch.
And what a month it's been for Syracuse. Nothing but nail-biters. A couple of overtime games. And the one that got away from them as the ball squirts out of bounds down in Death Valley against Clemson. It came down to the final minute. A 14-yard gain there as they just avoid the turnover.
Making sure that was a catch, too. Big hit by Griffin, knocking the ball out. The referee's obviously saying that he had control of it, took a couple steps.
From the Syracuse 41. On the ground, trying to churn it out with Mo Neal. Just over 80 yards rushing, and really the run games for both these teams have taken a backseat to the passing games tonight.
And if I'm Syracuse, maybe the pace for me is, if I'm gaining yards, is not to be as fast. Let that clock tick away a little bit. Look at those yards, Beth. Unbelievable for these two teams.
Dungy underneath Riley, first down across midfield.
Between Harmon and Riley, it's really not fair tonight. These guys are in the zone. We got an injured player down.
That's Chris Ingram, who's been busy at corner.
Kind of threw his head out there.
Athletic trainers over there taking a look at him as he points to the left shoulder. Vernon Greer is going to be the guy that will come in to replace Ingram.
And Riley, another guy, 12 targets, Beth, 10 catches. I mean, it's monsters today. I mean, him and Harmon has just been ridiculous.
138 plays, 1,079 total yards. Both quarterbacks have thrown for over 450. ACC office is going to have a tough time picking the offensive player of the week this week.
And you know what? And they'll probably run here, but don't forget about the other receiver, number 17, Jamal Custis, because he's been kind of lurking right now in the bushes.
They will run it on first down. Well, tonight, after Oregon and Arizona wrap things up on ESPN, be sure to catch SportsCenter with Stan Verrett and Max Bredos. They'll have reactions from the Dodgers and Red Sox. Also, the incredible comeback for Kentucky today. And Kirk and Chris Fowler will break down all the day's activities around college football. We've got Under 5 minutes now and running on a night for the offenses. Nearly 8 yards per play for both sides. And NC State looking for its defense to give them a chance and get the ball back. Dungy completes it to Harris, just shy of the marker, and a gain of 7.
And I know Harris caught that ball, but Riley is working it right now. I mean, he is as fast. Every single route he runs, he is just getting separation, and it's good ball placement right there. Keep it down. Good catch, keeping your hands underneath it.
Anthony, to your point about pace, sir, this is a 4th play in a row. It looks like they're going to wait until 5 seconds on that play clock before they snap the ball.
Needing short yardage, Dungy will get it. And a flag is down behind the play.
This could be
Holding offense, number 59. 10-yard penalty. Third down.
Aaron Roberts.
That's the left guard. The left guard right here. He's going to get beat on a penetration move. And he just twists him. Again, didn't have to do that, Beth. Even though he got beat, just get your arms out of there, and you live with the consequences. And that's big.
Well, Rocky talked about a turnover. Sometimes a penalty can be just as lethal.
This is a monster play right here defensively now for North Carolina State. Let's see if they can come up with it. A lot of space.
3rd and 11. Dungy going deep. And it's 4th down. So the penalty will cost Cuse not only the clock, but the football. 3:19 to go for Ryan Finley.
That penalty is huge. This is a nail biter. This has been the first time NC State has an opportunity now to get the ball with a little control, Beth.
If Hofrichter does indeed boot this here, and he will, low end over end.
Oh, what's he doing?
At the 14-yard line. And Rocky echoing the sentiments of the crowd here. May have cost the Cuse some yardage. Well, this is what we've come to expect from the Orange, Anthony. Fantastic finishes, a couple that didn't go their way, including an overtime loss at Pitt, and then rallying last week to score late in regulation and then win it in double overtime with Tommy DeVito at quarterback.
Well, we'll see. Is it Finley's turn? Starting to pick up the noise here at the Dome, Beth.
Been a long postseason drought for the Orange. And NC State now with a chance to make them wait a little bit longer and become bowl eligible themselves. Finley hit as he releases, broken up. Antoine Cordy with the PBU, 2nd down.
And he had Harmon. Felt like he beat him down the field, but he got pressure. Great job. Perfect timing. Getting the hand up and knocking it away by Cordy. Got one-on-one down here with the safety across the hash. I'm just saying.
They've already taken the tap off twice tonight for long touchdowns. Finley just shuffles it off to the back, and Gillespie cannot get out of bounds, and it's Cordy again. State has all 3 TOs left.
Finley with another big shot from an unblocked defensive lineman, Beth. And Armstrong reads eyes. Excuse me. Armstrong reads eyes. Nobody's blocking him. I mean, what's going on? He's a defensive end. You got to have a big on a big, and that's how you get your quarterback, for lack of a better terms, really hurt, Beth. Just poor protection. And remember, the right tackle today, Beth, the starter is out, Justin Witt. And they're making some moves, trying to get some other players, and a young player getting his first start.
Give the assist to Alton Robinson for the hit on the quarterback. Let's check in with Chris Cotter.
Just a reminder, coming up next, as a matter of fact, they're underway. Hawaii at Fresno State. So this game will be starting on ESPN News as soon as you guys wrap things up there in the Carrier Dome. We'll move over here to ESPN 2.
Remains to be seen just how long that could be, Chris, with NC State still having a couple of timeouts remaining, 2:10 to go. And the Orange looking at a 2nd and 10. Thinking at the very least, Anthony, they could tag on a field goal here, but then it's still within reach.
Yeah.
For Finley and company.
And they're going through a little bit of a, checking the protocol here. He's touching his jaw. Check this out.
Robinson, they're checking the chicklets on this one.
Yeah, you just cannot let a free hitter come in.
Look at Ryan, though. He's ready to go. He wants the ball back.
Ball start. Offense number 78, 5-yard penalty. Check it down.
Got to finish this game for Syracuse. Cannot self-destruct here and think the game is over. This is a high-powered offense for North Carolina State. Couple penalties now put you in a bind. You don't want to knock yourself out of field goal range because of that, too.
Absolutely, yeah. Headed in the wrong direction there. That'll push him back out to the 26.
And how risky does Dungy get here to try to get these yards? They're in field goal range.
2nd and 15. Run it up the gut. O'Neal. State will use its 2nd timeout. Orange fans hoping that Dino Babers will have a chance to give another one of his memorable post-game speeches in the locker room.
Somebody in Vegas told them they were going to win by 20-23. Orange way.
They've gotten big wins the last 3 years under Dino Babers, but what they have not gotten is the follow-up to those big wins, and they're looking for that tonight with NC State and a chance to get to their 6th win.
And Vegas gave him a little more respect in this game, right?
Yeah.
That's apparent after we made that comment in the locker room to his players.
One more timeout left for NC State. Down to the wire again for Syracuse. Dungy. Incomplete, flags down. Then a first down coming up for the Orange with 2:01 to play.
Just
Pass interference, defense number 20. 15-yard penalty, first down.
true freshman, Beth. Just a poor technique here. There's no need. There's no need to do it, and he gets flagged for it. That's the 5th one of the game.
I was going to say, how many times have we seen this? Anytime Syracuse wide receivers have threatened the defensive backs for NC State, they've panicked and grabbed a jersey or pulled a hip. Just can't play ball like that.
Yeah.
1st and goal now from the 7. And a chance for Syracuse to extend the lead and perhaps put it out of reach here. They'll go with that power package again. Howard asked for a couple. And NC State will use its final timeout. 1:56 to go on a memorable night in the Dome with over 1,000 yards of total offense and an amazing performance from a couple of quarterbacks tonight in Ryan Finley and Ryan Dudgy, excuse me, for Syracuse, really lighting it up.
Yeah. Well, you know, Rocky called it in this game. He was waiting. Someone was going to make a mistake, and Finley gets hit by an unblocked defender and throws an interception. Armstrong, the linebacker, reads eyes, and that's ultimately, it looks like it could be the difference in this football game right now.
Ryan Finley and Eric Dungey. (44-41) now, and NC State cannot stop the clock. Syracuse knocking on the door to try and close it out.
And you got to get a little risky here for NC State.
Strickland will get the call inside the 5, and it will be 3rd down and goal. Jermaine Pratt with another big stop, trying to force a field goal to keep this within reach.
And time is a problem now, Beth. We'll run this down to about just over a minute. And then again, after this play, if they don't score off a run, they're not going to have much time.
Run off 40 more.
Yep.
We have already seen Ryan Finley throw 2 long touchdown passes, so he doesn't need a whole lot of time. 74 yards and 67 yards. Syracuse will call a timeout here, 1:09 to go. Wolfpack are 5-0 all time in the Dome, but they're staring at the deficit right now. A career high for Ryan Finley, 454 yards. Here's what his night has been like. Can he get another touch?
Yeah, they can score fast, Beth. I mean, they've done it several times in this football game. When he's been given time, Harmon and some of these receivers, Jacoby Myers, Amizi, all these guys have been able to get their plays, but Syracuse has taken their opportunities, and they got a first-time right tackle starting, Beth, because of Witt being out, and that ultimately paid the price for that one, and that came the intersection.
Only turnover of the night so far. And now the Orange 3rd and goal, and they'll run it, and they'll score it to Strickland. Points off the turnover for Syracuse with 1:05 to play.
Dino Babers happy, jumping up.
He got up higher than I did earlier, Anthony.
Yeah, I would say, yeah, absolutely.
We better not do a side-by-side of that one.
Oh, you know it's coming.
PAT from Schmidt. And how about the vertical on the head coach greeting his running back coming over to the sideline off the Strickland score. Babers with the elevation.
Get on up. Look at that, his QB.
Oh, with the double. Dungey and Custis.
Don't pull a hammy, coach.
That bell's been ringing a lot. The victory bell for the Orange as they move closer here to bowl eligibility and end the 5-year drought. We didn't even know if Eric Dungey would be the starting quarterback tonight. He has solidified that spot indefinitely.
I'm proud of him, Beth. You know, it's always tough to look over your shoulder and know that there's a young redshirt freshman who's really talented that just came in and won a game last week. And you got to start today, and who knows what that leash may have been in this football game, and you had to come out, step up, raise the level of play, and lead your team to victory. I'd say he did that unquestionably today for the Orangemen.
And he went toe-to-toe with Ryan Finley, who a lot of people think might be the first or second quarterback taken in the draft next year. Of course, a special teams touchdown could change things, but not on their watch. Pulling out the hammer. Melifonwu was a part of that. And that's Otto Zaccardo with the special teams play. The most passing yards for Syracuse under Dino Babers in the last 3 years.
And you know what, Beth? Give this offensive line credit. The film I watched the last 2 weeks, it's been rough to watch. I mean, they gave up a lot of pressures, a lot of sacks, and they came out and met the challenge and took on North Carolina State and protected their quarterback, and it paid dividends.
No timeouts now for NC State. Syracuse will keep them in bounds. They showed a lot of fight to come back from a 17-point deficit. Coming off the disappointing loss to Clemson last week, but they're staring at back-to-back losses now for the Wolfpack. It's a false start here.
False start. Offense number 55. There will also be a 10-second runoff. Please reset the game clock.
Well, Doran talked about forgetting the week before, turning the page, and they gave a valiant effort today. Just too much early on, Beth. Just too many points given up to this high-powered offense of Syracuse, and just weren't able to pick it up at the end of the game.
First time that Syracuse, if the score holds, has won 5 home games in 15 years. And if they can hang on here, they'll have a chance to go for 6-0 against Louisville on November 9th. They've only done that 3 times in school history. The last time was 1991. Well, how about the Qs showing up, their first Saturday night primetime game in 8 years, and they get bowl eligibility for the first time in 5 with a 51-41 win over NC State. Big night for Eric Dungy and this Syracuse offense. And they get the 10-point win. Now let's get you out to Bulldog Stadium for Hawaii and Fresno State.